Pero dahil birthday ni Mr. Jeremy Barnes, he will go first. So we'll do this. So we'll call on the birthday boy first, National Museum, and then after that we'll do NBDB, then Philippine High School for the Arts, then NCCT, NAS, and TEC. Late ba kayo dumating? Oh, so late kayo magre-present. So let's do that. So after presentation, the agency can be excused and you can stay and participate and to listen. But if there are no more cross-cutting concerns, then you can be excused, so you can go back and to your offices and do your more important work. All right, so we start off with National Museum for their budget presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, and thank you for that kind of greeting. Yes, thank you very much. It's it's really pleasant to be here with you and our colleagues in the DepEd family. What's your pleasure, sir? Would you like me to go from the top or cut to our financial performance or wish list? But I'm happy to go from.
This is your presentation?
Yeah, it's quite lengthy because.
How long will it take?
No more than 10 minutes, I hope.
10 minutes, fine.
All right.
10 minutes, okay.
Thank you. So it's my honor to present to you our 2026 budget proposal. The National Museum is a trust of the government under our Board of Trustees, and we're attached to the Department of Education for budgetary coordination and related purposes under Republic Act number 11333. I'll first present our National Museum network nationwide. This gives you a snapshot, sir, of how the National Museum is increasingly covering the whole country. We're not just a Manila or NCR-based national agency, but are truly trying to bring our museum services to all regions of the Philippines and be present, especially in sites of significant cultural and artistic sites, as well as educational centers and so on. So you'll see where we are in NCR, as well as 4 mega regions of the Philippines: Northern Luzon, which covers regions 1, 2, 3, and Cordillera; Southern Luzon for regions 4A, 4B, and 5; Visayas, and Mindanao. So at the moment we have 22 component museums, sir, including our 3 flagship museums in Manila. And what's important for us to highlight to you and the Senate are the 8 component museums under development. It's important to highlight this because our budget has, for many years now, have been infrastructure heavy, and that also accounts for the swings between the GAA and the NEP. Usually the NEP has little or zero capital outlay proposed, and then in the course of congressional amendments, we are endowed with capital outlay for our infrastructure and other capital-intensive projects. So right now, we have 8 component museums under development, and part of our wish list is to continue or complete some of these ongoing projects. So moving quickly to our mandate, just to refresh you, sir. We have lots of slides just to show you the appearance of our museums and galleries. So we have there for you our vision and mission of being world-class, socially responsive institution that preserves legacy, fosters a profound sense of Filipino identity, and helps shape a progressive, sustainable future, as well as to manage museums and carry out dynamic public programs for our diverse audiences, anchored on engagement, research, collections, collaborations, following, of course, international best practices. Going to our legal mandate, this is in Republic Act number 11333, which you may remember passing here in the Senate, Senator, back in 2019. In Section 4 is our mandate. We're the primary institution of the state for the management and development of museums and collections of national scope or significance in the areas of arts, cultural heritage, and natural history, for purposes of protecting, preserving, studying, and promoting the national patrimony for the benefit of current and future generations, supporting education and social progress, and contributing to economic development through tourism and educational, scientific, cultural, and leisure services and industries. The National Museum shall be a permanent institution in the service of the entire national community and its development, accessible to the public and not intended for profit. Now, the duties and functions are enumerated in the Act. From there, we function as an educational, cultural, and scientific institution. Next slide. We establish, manage, and develop the complex in Rizal Park, Manila, as well as other central museums, regional museums, and we promote the principles of universal access. So, foremost among our advocacies is that of universal access, that every Filipino has a right to access their heritage, cultural, natural heritage as a Filipino through our museums. That's why we have free admission. That's why we try to make our museums as accessible, as open, as appealing, and as proximate as we can to people everywhere in the Philippines. And have programs even to reach Filipinos abroad. Next, we manage and develop the national collections. So we are a collections-based institution. So this is also quite labor and capital intensive, acquiring, maintaining, preserving, displaying, studying these collections. Next. Yes, and as for studying, we carry out research programs on a whole range of fields. Of course, we disseminate technical museological skills, support museum development in the country, including all kinds of museums at the in LGUs across the country, including Valenzuela City, that you might recall personally, sir. And we extend technical assistance in preservation, restoration of cultural property. So, as an example, these pictures show our restoration of the very significant shrine of Our Lady of Kaysasay in Taal, Batangas, damaged by the eruption of Taal volcano in 2020. This was one of our pandemic projects that took 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 phases across 5 budgets to finish. Yeah. And we completed this last year. Yeah. Next. And finally, the catch-all function. We carry out all functions characteristic of such museums as we are, public, collecting, and research museum institutions of national scope. Yeah. So following from our mandate, duties, responsibilities are our strategic priorities and the programs that come under them. So we have 4 strategic priorities. The first, as I tried to emphasize at the outset, was universal access. So under this is our museum access and public engagement program. So here is museum education, outreach programs of all kinds to our diverse audiences, including to students, teachers, the general public, marginalized communities, so on and so forth, persons with disabilities. And then our infrastructure program, or the museum development program, comes under this because upgrading our existing museums, improving them, and establishing new museums around the country is supposed to facilitate universal access, or first and foremost. So the more places we are at, the more easy it is to reach and access the National Museum and its services. Under the second strategic priority, cultural and natural heritage, that's where our research and collections management programs come in. Then our third strategic priority, which you'll also find is taking a large chunk of our recent and ongoing budgets, is digital transformation. So there you'll see large allocations or requests for ICT expenditures. That's where you'll see increases. I heard you ask NHCP next door, sir, the increases in subscription expenses to subscribe to software and cloud services and other related services. And then finally, strong topic, and we're very happy to be joined by our resident auditor, Auditor Saligo, is good governance under strategic priority number 4. So that is in complying with civil service, DBM, COA, and other oversight agencies, getting our ISO certification and maintaining that, and so on and so forth. I could go into each one of them. The presentation continues, but in the interest of time, we might go straight to slide 52, which is good governance, which is where we start to disclose our financial performance. But all these slides in between just go to each of those pillars, the programs, and then there are various performance targets and accomplishments under each, sir.
Can you excuse me for 1 second?
Absolutely.
And, we'll suspend for a few minutes. I'll come back quickly.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Sorry about that, Jeremy. Let's continue. All right.
No worries, sir. Thank you. So the slide we're flashing now, I think is one of the slides you're really looking for, which shows our obligation disbursement rate through the years up till the present. So I'm not sure if this will lead to any questions on your part, sir, but we're ready, me and my team, to go into that. And then moving forward for the current, next slide, please. Our current performance. As of June, we had obligated 60%, and then as of August 15, our latest report, 68%. I'm happy to say, sir, a lot of the lack of the things to be obligated were due to projects or funds for later release. All for later release funds were released to us just yesterday, sir. So we'll be obligating 120 million plus worth of capital outlay in the next weeks. So this figure will go up markedly by next month, I anticipate. Next slide. Again, I'm happy that our auditor is here because we are proud to share some of the commendations that we are given from the Commission on Audit. Of course, these are the commendations. There are also issues, But one of them is a high budget obligation rate that we achieved last year of over 90%, that we managed to exceed the mandatory threshold for GAD activities, that we also managed to fulfill the mandate relating to senior citizens and PWDs, and so on and so forth, and to ensure our properties. And so we've made progress on many COA issues. What isn't here are some of the things that remain ongoing, such as cleaning up our property, plant, and equipment. We're working with the COA. Again, sir, if you want to delve into any of these issues at all, we're ready to engage with you on that. Next slide. So to our NEP, as you know, sir, we have a NEP proposed by the President of 840,987,000 for the National Museum of the Philippines as part of the DepEd budget. The next slide shows you NEP versus the current GAA. So it is a decrease of 53%, 2026 NEP versus 2025 GAA. And you'll see that's mostly due to the fact that zero capital outlay was proposed, versus 750 million capital outlay in this year's GAA. Historically, you may remember, sir, that this is what usually happens: minimal to zero capital outlay in our NEP, and then as a result of congressional support, that's where we see augmentations for capital outlay. And this year is no different, sir. We have a wish list for capital outlay that we've submitted to you, sir, and to your counterparts in the House. Next slide. Here are our physical targets for 2026. In a nutshell, we're on track to exceeding or definitely meeting, but also exceeding this year's targets, and we feel next year's targets are also quite doable. Next slide. Okay, so on the issue of financial adequacy, we want to focus on the fact that we have zero capital outlay. The work of the museum is capital intensive, not only in pursuing our museum development around the country, in the upgrading of existing museums and establishing new ones according to our strategic plan, but there's also the acquisition of equipment and collections and so on and so forth. Next slide. So maybe this is a good point to jump straight to our wish list, sir, because the NEP, unless you'd like me to present the NEP, but I think it's quite easy. But in the interest of the time for wish list, for MOOE, the NEP provides for 490.7 million. We're requesting an additional 158 or 159 million for the following reasons. Additional utility expense. We'll be bringing online 2 museums in Baler, Aurora, and in Clark, Pampanga. And we project 61 million to be our additional needs for water and power, for power expenses, and then the same for water, sir. Next, additional repair and maintenance for 3 items specifically. Our National Museum in Batanes, which has been kind of battered by by weather events in the last few years and requires comprehensive repair in the amount of estimated to be 27.7 million. Well, something mundane like the repainting of our National Museum of Fine Arts wasn't included in the NEP, but we really are pushing for this because it does need repainting, and we would like the museum to look spick and span for the ASEAN Summit in May next year. And then restoration of various works of art amounting to 20 million. Next. Then general services expenses. So these are mostly for institutionalized contracts of service and additional security and janitorial services across various museums, and those are detailed in the supporting documents, sir. Next. Then additional subscription expenses. So this goes to ICT matters, so the following softwares. And next. Now with capital outlay, so we're hoping to go from 0 to as much as 793 million, sir, which is actually on par with what we are implementing in this year's budget. Yeah. Next. And this is the wish list of that, sir. Yeah. And I am ready to go into detail on any of these, but in the interest of time, I am happy to leave it there. So hoping for your continued support, sir, and of the senators, and thank you for your time this afternoon.
Jeremy, I was quite surprised that your budget was there was a big difference between your budget proposal versus what was approved by DBM.
Right.
Let me just pull up the. And also compared to the last year's budget. Last year, your total obligations 1.5 billion, and then this year the new appropriated or the approved new appropriations about 811 million.
Yes, sir.
No?
Yeah.
So that's a cut of almost 700 million, more or less. No? And
that can almost all be explained by the granting of no capital outlay. If you look at the PS and MOE, the levels are on trend.
But the reduction from 2025 to the 2026 proposal is due to zero capital outlay.
For the most part, sir.
Which
yes.
is quite surprising.
Yeah.
And I'll ask DBM lead. Do we have a representative from DBM? Can you join us? Kasi dito nagkakaroon tayo ng problema if you cut capital outlay, and then the congressmen and senators will amend to include capital outlay, and then we will be blamed for quote-unquote insertions.
Yes.
Diba?
I see. Yeah, I see where you're coming from in light of what's been happening.
Correct. You're requesting from us additional 700 million for capital outlay, but DBM did not approve it. So what will happen is Congress will amend/insert, and then we will be blamed that we are inserting items in the budget.
Yeah.
But well, in fact, it was a cut from your previous budget, and also, more so, this is part of your wish list.
Yes.
Diba? So that's the consequence of DBM not approving your capital outlay. And may I know from DBM, how come the capital outlay completely zero? It's the first time I've seen a museum with zero capital outlay. Museums are capital intensive. We all know that. You buy artifacts, you maintain the museums. You have to make sure that the museums are always in tip-top conditions. You also buy equipment to maintain those artifacts and art. So it's impossible to have zero capital outlay. But in this case, it's zero. So may I know from DBM, bakit zero? Baka kami na naman masisisi pag naglagay kami ng amendments.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon to everyone. Yes, regarding the capital outlay, zero capital outlay for 2026. It is unfortunate that the NMP lacks the 3-year rolling program, the TRIP. Wala po silang TRIP, and therefore po it cannot be implemented po, and it cannot be implementation ready rin po.
What is the TRIP?
The 3-year rolling program po, infrastructure rolling program.
And that's a requirement?
From DepDev.
That's a
NEDA.
requirement from all the agencies to have the TRIP?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And all the agencies have itong 3-year rolling program.
Infrastructure
3-year rolling program meron.
Opo. Yes po.
So I think, Jeremy, don't you have that document? I think it's a basic requirement from national government.
Earlier this year, in the preparation of the NEP, I was advised that we need to enroll our proposals in the TRIP moving forward. But before earlier this year, yeah, this hadn't been brought to my attention.
Okay.
But it's something we're doing. Well, we're learning how to do it. But yes, I think Director Vivian, I know what she's talking about. But I'm not sure if it's not in the TRIP that means it cannot be in the NEP. But
I think that is a requirement, no? I mean, just to put it in very simple terms, to include capital outlay, you need to produce the TRIP, and the TRIP will include all the capital outlays there for the next 3 years. Ganun ba yun?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so
yeah.
you just have to do it.
Yeah. So yes, moving forward, of course, right, we just have to do it. If that's what DBM requires moving forward for the next cycle, we'll definitely do that, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for this cycle, I think it's already too late to do that. So we will just rely on your recommendations.
Yes.
On what to augment, because definitely, in my view, we need to maintain the upkeep of our museums. In
Yes,
fact, we need to expand the offerings of our museums.
Yes.
So can you explain to us and put on record, without that 700 capital outlay, what will be the consequence if we don't put that 700 million capital outlay?
Okay. Well, there will be no disastrous consequences. The capital outlay we're proposing is basically to continue development projects, both the improvement and construction, improvement of existing facilities and construction of new ones, as well as upgrading of existing exhibitions and creation of new ones. So without our proposed capital outlay in a wish list, we will just be deferring improvements at the National Museum of Fine Arts. The completion of our new museum complex in Clark will be delayed. Exhibitions will be deferred, and so on and so forth. There's nothing here that would, in our wish list, under capital outlay, that would severely impact our basic operations. In our wish list, though, we also have MOOE, and I presented quickly the utilities, general services, repair and maintenance. That goes more to our operations, and if those could likewise be considered by you and the committee, those do go to our basic operations, adequate security, janitorial, maintenance, as well as, of course, power and water. Because we will be on streaming two new museums, as well as sustaining our 7-day-a-week open to the public arrangements. And of course, as we all know, the price of electricity and water, as well as the wages for security and security guards, janitors, other personnel, is increasing.
I saw in the this is in our briefer that 12 out of 35 National Museum and regional component museums are either decommissioned or not yet operational. So, for example, here in this list, Rizal Park Center Exhibition Building, not yet operational. Um,
That one, sir, is just a proposal on the drawing board.
okay.
Yeah.
And Bohol, National Museum, Philippines, not
Yes.
yet operational.
Yes.
Tacloban City, not yet operational.
Yes, sir.
We'll flash this on the screen.
These are proposals that haven't commenced yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if I compare this to your slide 72, can ComSec flash that? We also have proposals here, for example, development of, let's flash that,
Slide 72, please.
72. Improvement and Development National Museum of Fine Arts, NMP Complex, Manila. And then you have also other, there, no?
Yes. And it's grouped according to each super region. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So these are, for example, let's take one example in Visayas, development of NMP, General Aniceto, Lacson, and Celestial House. These are already existing museums.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. These are managed and operated by National Museum.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so if we don't include capital outlay, all of these projects, especially the phase 2, will not continue.
Exactly. Well, yes, they'll be put on hold.
Okay. For example, the other one in Dumaguete, Negros Oriental,
Yeah.
that's completely new?
This is an extension of our existing museum.
Okay. So all of these are existing museums.
Yes, sir.
And they're...
Because this wish list, sir, that I'm presenting to you today is already whittled down from our original proposal.
Okay.
Our original proposal to DBM had more projects, including starting some new developments.
Okay.
When we were asked to submit a wish list to you, we pared it down, and so we took out all the new projects and just focused on the continuation or completion of existing projects.
Okay, because that will be a priority because
Yes, sir,
these are
yeah.
ongoing projects already. So I would prefer that we complete ongoing projects so that they're not left hanging.
Yes, sir.
And
So this is that, sir.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And how about the other ones that are not operational? We'll flash that. Table 31. For example, Coronadal and Lake Cebu, South Cotabato, not yet operational.
No, that one, sir, you'll find is part of our wish list.
Okay.
The phase
okay.
2, that particular one.
How
yes.
are these museums chosen? Are these is there a process or a system wherein the National Museum chooses specific sites because it's all over?
Yes.
I support museum. We have a museum in Valenzuela, but I just want to know what is the process of setting up a museum?
The general criteria are spelled out in our law. For example, we need to take steps to make sure we have at least one museum in each administrative region. Then we need to take into account population, educational centers, tourism centers, and also sites of high cultural, artistic, historical value. Also administrative efficiency, and so on and so forth. So we're guided by all of that in choosing places where that are usually the regional centers. So for example, Socsargen, so we have no presence in Socsargen, and we were ready to do that. And so that's why we went first to Coronadal, because that's the regional center. And it's the jumping off point to places of very high cultural value, such as Lake Cebu, with the Taboli groups and surrounding areas. It's relatively accessible from Gensan and so on. So we took that idea, talked to some stakeholders in the LGU, found that they were very supportive. They offered us an appropriate place. And so that's how we do it, sir, in that case.
So all of these locations go through vetting and
Yeah, absolutely.
analysis by National Museum.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Just from the top, so like say from Pawai, its proximity to
Poway Church.
Pawai Church, World Heritage Site, but also the National Geological Monument na Pawai Sand Dunes. It also being very near to Lawag Airport as a gateway makes a lot of sense for us. Batanes, well, having high cultural value, vegan. Peña Blanca, Cagayan, that is the location of the Calao Cave, where the Homo luzonensis was found, and so on and so forth. Kiangan is right in the middle of the rice terraces.
Actually, I'm surprised that Poway doesn't have a museum there.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So you're putting up one in Poway. It's
Yes.
ongoing now.
It's ongoing now.
Ah,
It's
okay.
funded
And that's
under
part of the 700?
No, sir. It's funded under the current budget, 60 million.
Okay.
That was just released, and we don't need a phase 2 for that.
Okay, good.
Again, Kabayan, Benguet, so this is the jumping off point to the burial caves of the Ibaloy people in the area, the famous quote-unquote mummies. So those are all national cultural treasures that we look after. Baler, another cultural, natural destination in the Sierra Madre. Clark, because of its being a gateway, and also near San Fernando, the regional center for Central Luzon. And so there are an explanation for everything.
So for example, here in Victorias, Negros Occidental,
Yes.
We will be putting up a museum there.
Yes, that was part of our original proposal, but since that Tier 2 proposal wasn't granted for next year, we've set it aside.
Okay.
But that for instance, is our selected site because it's in the heart of the sugar country.
Okay.
And all the heritage there that we want to be a part of with our museum.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make actually is because all of this will come in the form of amendments.
Yes, sir.
I just want to put on record that all of these projects are vetted properly and go through the proper
Yes.
evaluation process of National Museum, not left field or out of thin air proposals by Congress.
Yes, sir.
So that's what I'm trying to make, because if the projects are not in the NEP and Congress will propose it, there's now a notion that Congress just proposes projects that they think is beneficial to their locality or to their district without studying it. But now I understand that the National Museum goes through an evaluation process,
Yes.
and before proposing setting up a national museum in that area.
Yes, sir. And I'm happy to put on record that it has never happened, at least in my time, since 2010, that our requests for amendments are not based on our original proposals. Yeah.
So that's good to hear. And then going to your budget, I know that you mentioned that. Do you have a slide for this? That you have significantly improved your utilization of your budget. In 2024, it's 88% obligated, but the disbursement, this is where I think one of the issues, Jeremy, it's the disbursement is quite low, 61%. Any plans to improve the disbursement? And over the years, it's been like that, no? At 60%. So, any reason how come disbursement only hovers around 60%? And what's the course of action to improve it?
Yes, thank you, sir. And I would, of course, agree with your observation. So, yeah, this is due to the implementation of the infrastructure projects because our budgets, with the congressional amendments, tend to be capital outlay infrastructure heavy, as opposed to halimbawa DepEd, which is PS heavy. So, yeah, this just reflects the progress billing approach that we do. So the key to that would be to accelerate implementation of our infrastructure projects. We are mindful of it. But yeah, yes. But this is best solved, of course, when we can do early procurement. So for 2025, you'll see, sir, that our utilization is much better because everything that was in the NEP for infrastructure and general services, the big contracts were bidded out through early procurement. Unfortunately, if we do receive amendments from Congress for next year, there will not be any opportunity for early procurement, so we'll just have to wait till the GAA is approved and hit the ground running right after the new year. Yeah. But we're mindful of that, sir, that our disbursement rate could be better.
Yeah. Well, I agree that normally capital outlay takes time, especially on infrastructure because of the bidding process, the actual construction, and we have to factor in whenever government implements, there's certain level of delay. So I agree. But of course, I just want to put that on the table so that you'll be mindful and improve your operations in terms of improving your disbursement rates. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We recognize the presence of Senator Lauren Legarda. Good afternoon, ma'am. Long time no see.
From the other room?
From the other room lang tayo.
Tayo lang nagkatrabaho ng
I'll go to some COA observations, and we take the COA report quite seriously, Jeremy. So one of the items that I saw here is audit suspensions. I think there's a 489 million and 498 million remained unsettled as of December 2024. What's the it's apparently disallowed already, no? So what's the nature of this disallowance?
Thank you for the question, sir. I'll just wait for my colleague, our accountant, to give me the information. But if I remember right, this is one of the phases, quite a while back, one of the phases of the construction of the Natural History Museum back in the Aquino administration, was put under suspension for various concerns and remains under suspension. Prince?
So this is a maybe COA can. I think we have. Anong nature nitong is this disallowed amounts already?
Sir, karamihan kasi dyan sa notice of disallowance, result ng audit ng special audit. Then yung sa suspension, meron kasing ongoing fraud audit case, kaya hindi pa namin siya ma-issue ng settlement.
Case?
Yes po.
On this particular amount,
Opo.
itong 498?
Yes, 489 million.
489. But ang total niya mayroon pang 9.4 eh.
Sir, ano yun, related to notice of, sa mga special audit.
Oo.
May mga ini-issueong notice of disallowance.
Okay. So but the total is 498.
Yes po.
There's an ongoing fraud audit
Yes po.
right now.
Apo.
Can you disclose what's the nature of that? Tuloy-tuloy pa? Okay, hindi ko pipilitin kung alam ko tuloy-tuloy pa kasi.
Confidential po kasi.
Okay. Who requested the fraud audit? No, wait,
Museo, empleyado din ng ano. I think Museo.
One of the employees?
Opo, National Museum.
Okay, okay. Sige, sige. We won't disclose the details of that, but apparently there's a fraud audit?
Yes, this is around 10 years or more ago, sir.
Yes po.
Is this prior to your time?
No, in my time.
Okay.
So some disgruntled employees made a complaint, and it's yet to be cleared up.
Is it for capital outlay or acquisition of art or what?
No, I think I'm really not too sure because we're not really privy
What is it about?
to the investigation.
What is it about? Is it capital outlay or is it acquisition of art?
It's capital outlay, ma'am. Yeah.
The fraud audit that you mentioned.
Capital outlay.
For what building?
Confidential kasi.
You're not allowed to say it. It's been ongoing for 10 years.
Yes po.
Really?
Pero may part na rin po inakit namin sa legal. Hinihintay lang namin yung sagot nila.
Okay.
Due process naman yan, di ba? You
Apo.
talk to management, you ask for documents. Okay. When will the audit finish?
Once po kasi na binaba ng legal yung decision nila, iakit ulit namin sa fraud audit.
Okay, okay. Pero
Seems unfair to the head of the agency if it takes 10 years, and you don't even know what it is, even if the persons are not guilty, but the emotional toll when you say during your term there's a fraud audit on what, where, what, right?
Nasa annual audit report ng COA. 2015, 2016.
ang tagal ng fraud audit, ang tagal hindi matapos.
Inabutan po ata nung pandemic.
Di ba ang fraud audit, normally it's only one time and then you give a report?
Actually, pabalik-balik kasi siya. Tapos,
May
Yun nga po.
request from COA para ma-settle na ito kasi nakahang siya sa libro eh.
hinihintay lang kasi namin yung sa legal, sir. Tapos ipo-forward ulit namin siya sa fraud audit.
Okay, okay. Well, just na lang, pasabi na lang to your superiors na kasi nakahang siya eh.
Okay po.
And it's quite substantial, 400.
Kasi yung issue namin sa legal, parang matagal daw talaga yun. Kasi medyo sensitive siya. Yun yung advice ng legal namin. Kasi inakyat rin nila sa taas. Sensitive kasi yung issue.
Okay.
So, ang tinaas nila.
Sige, patapos na lang or
Kino administration pa yan?
tagal. It's been there for a long time.
Yes, sir. But despite that, I'm still around, and I'm accountable for whatever. But I'm confident that this will be dealt with properly.
No, well, it works both ways, no? So that management will be relieved of any of these accusations or allegations. At least the audit will prove whether there is really fraud or no fraud, no? So that's. But the thing is, we want to get this off the books, off the report, so that management can go back to its normal operation, and like what Senator Lawrence said, no, there's no sword hanging over your head. No? So we want you to concentrate on your core activities.
Yes, that would be great, sir. Thank you.
All right, and then actually, to be honest, Jeremy, there's a lot of COA report findings here. Some are substantial. That's the most substantial I saw here. But as a matter of procedure, I know COA gives management a list of things to do and to comply. So just submit to the committee how many findings were issued to National Museum and what is the compliance. Do you have that right now? How many? Because here in the list we have a summary, but how many COA findings were issued, and then how many were already complied in terms of recommendations?
Sir, if I can refer to my
Yes,
colleague,
go ahead.
this is our accountant, Prince Koros.
Yes, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Senator Win Gatchalian. So, I would like to refer the status of implementation of audit recommendations based on the December 31, 2024 annual audit report that was given to the National Museum of the Philippines. So, based on the status of the implementation, out of the 27 recommendations, 13 of which are implemented and 14 were not implemented or ongoing implementation as of that audit period.
Just submit to us your timetable and your plans to comply with the 14 remaining ongoing compliance.
Yes, we will comply in connection to this compliance with the recommendations. We are submitting the AAPC to our COA resident auditor in order for them to know the updates of our implementation.
Submit to us, give us also a copy of that so
Yes.
that we can track down your compliance.
Yes, Senator.
Okay.
I don't have questions because I sit on the board and I always talk to them and I give them full support. But I just take note that in 2026 there's no capital outlay, right? Due to COA issues or because you're still utilizing your funds for this year till next year?
Well, if I may, Senator Legarda, and good afternoon. Director Vivian of DBM disclosed that one reason, at least, for not endorsing it into the NEP was that our infrastructure requests do not comply with the TRIPS framework, which is the 3-year rolling infrastructure program. And so, yeah, this is something new for us, and we're assuring Senwin, you and everyone that in the next cycle, we will be compliant with that. So apparently, Opo.
Are you familiar with that? When was it rolled out? Were you informed that you had to be compliant with that NEDA program?
Well, in the process of putting this year's or the NEP together this year, this cycle, we were told that it would really help if we were enrolling our proposals in that. It's something new to us. We've never done that before. Never dealt with NEDA before because our projects are not billion peso projects.
Yes.
But if that's what's needed, we'll learn and we will do that in the next cycle.
Does that mean that there will be any delays in programs that we in the board approved because it's not in the NEP?
Yeah, well, we have our wish list here, and this wish list is, at least for the infrastructure, is comprised of those ongoing projects or projects that are almost complete. So if we can't get an augmentation to cover that, then yeah, those will be on hold.
What does it mean that you have to enroll your proposed projects in the NEDA TRIP program? Can you explain, please, Director Vivian? Yes.
Good afternoon.
And not all agencies seem to be aware of that, so we have to make sure they're aware so that they receive their budgets in the NEP.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, Senator Lauren Legarda. The TRIP or the 3-year three-year rolling infrastructure program has been an ongoing requirement by the NEDA since 2016, and we have always put that po in the budget call every year po. So by January po, nilalagay namin na it is the requirement po.
Okay, what does it mean? 3-year rolling program. Ano ibig sabihin nun? For National Museum to be compliant, what should they have done? Anong dapat ginawa nila to qualify to have a NEP budget aligned with NEDA's TRIP? Yun. Please explain.
dapat po na-enroll nila with the DepDev and na-endorse din po sa amin yung kanilang project.
No, you're talking about the process. Brief us. Chairman ako ng finance noon 2016 up to 19. Wala naman requirement. Naglalagay tayo sa NEP. Meron kayo sa NEP, ina-approve ko. Wala naman trip na babanggit nun. Sige, pakipaliwanag. Ano ba yung trip? Ano yung trip? Alam ko nga requirement. Definition of terms. O naman, paano nyo tuturuan yung ahensya kung maski kayo hindi nyo mapaliwanag? Ano ba yung trip? Paliwanag po nyo. Definition of terms.
Apo, yun po yung for the infrastructure projects, yun po yung requirement. It's either the TRIP or the public infrastructure program. Kasama rin po yun. So, ini-endorse po sa amin ng DepDev.
Okay. Ulitin ko pangatlong beses. Ano po ang dapat ginawa ng National Museum para nabigyan siya ng NEP budget for capital outlay at kailan niya dapat sinumite sa DepDev para naisumite sa DBM?
Apo, yung agencies po need to prove po na implementation ready na po yung kanilang project. Apo.
Yung plano ng ahensya ay dapat kompleto, may design, may lupa, may architectural design, may costing para implementation ready, tapos sinumite sa DepDev, kailangan? Hindi nyo alam yun. Dati tayo,
Yes,
never nyo ginagawa yun.
Yeah,
Ang National Museum, hindi. Di ba?
Hindi nga.
Never ko narinig. At least ako, I chaired your budget for so long. Never ko narinig na kailangan kay dadaan sa NEDA. Baka this is for big infrastructure projects, but not...
Yeah, that was my
National Museum.
understanding before, ma'am, na these are for the big...
Okay, my question.
Yeah.
You've been there for so long. Did you have to clear every capital outlay with NEDA before you were granted in your NEP? Was there a year between 2016 and now that you received, of course you have, capital outlay without going through NEDA approval?
Yes.
Oh.
We've never sat down with NED.
Okay.
Or DepDev, yeah.
Yes, so that's my question. It's not new. It's been there for 9 years.
Yeah.
And they said that you were not given a capital outlay because you don't have a TRIP program of DepDev or NEDA before. But since my time, I would see you have NEP and I would augment it sometimes.
What's always been important to us on the executive side is that we present to DepEd, because we're here with DepEd family. So we present to the secretary, and he or she in the past, we want to earn the endorsement of the secretary.
Jeremy,
Yeah.
ever since when you started, your capital outlay has always been an amendment from Congress, or
Not always, but one could say mostly, yes.
most of the time?
Yeah.
When did it become more pronounced? Because right now it's zero, No? So was 2025 zero in the NEP?
Yes. Well, no. Apart from, no, 2025, we had significant capital outlay in the NEP, but 2024, 2023, 2022,
Okay.
and since the pandemic, it was zero.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I, Mr. Chair, may
Yes,
I
go ahead,
request the LBRMO to check all capital outlay of the whole budget presented to Congress if everything went through NEDA, DepDev with TRIP. Let's not be selective.
Yeah.
If you say there's no capital outlay for National Museum, a small agency compared to DPWH, lahat ba ng NEP ng DPWH ay NEDA approved? Otherwise, dapat i-zero pag hindi approved ng NEDA. Ganun ba yun? Yes, because
I'm not sure.
that's my understanding, right, Mr. Chair? the reason why there's zero capital outlay, according to DBM, because National Museum did not go through the process of going through the DepDev for a trip. Since 2016, this was the requirement.
Yes.
So does it mean all school buildings, classrooms of DepEd must go through NEDA for a trip? All infrastructure, big or small, even a health center, must go through NEDA? Because they said that the trip, you said that NEDA has to approve all infrastructure before a project should be included in the NEP.
Yeah, I'm surprised, ma'am, because
I'm surprised also.
a lot of our
Just
proposals.
warning DepEd, because we had the hearing already.
Yeah.
Lahat ba ng school buildings nyo sa school building fund dumaan sa NEDA, sa DepDev?
Good afternoon,
Yes.
Mr. Chair and Madam Senator. Actually, we were called out by DepDev during the budget call that we have to submit and register our infra projects po dun sa trip. So we complied. Opo.
This is a new submission. I suggest that NEDA, DepDev, roll it out, the information to all agencies. My question is, National Museum, were you duly informed?
No.
No.
In writing, no.
In your budget call?
It's just our very helpful analysts at DBM. That's
Okay.
their advice to us. But it's only informal.
So if
we weren't aware.
If that's been there since 2016, even El Beremo, hindi pa raw nila naririnig yan. And ang chair ako, Mr. Chairman, hindi ko rin narinig yun. Narinig ko lang yung trip maybe a few months ago. Baka nangyari lang yung trip nung naging DepDev ang NEDA, hindi 2016. Dati pa yon. Ang tanong ko, lahat ba ng infrastruktura ng ating pamahalaan na ina-approve ngayon dumaan sa DepDev na may trip? Kung wala, ibig sabihin mali yung pagkalagay sa NEP kasi walang trip. Kasi kung ang National Museum na maliit, hindi binibigyan dahil ito yung dahilan, di lahat na lang na walang trip ay hindi dapat na sa NEP. That's a question I pose in this body now. Not necessarily, I don't necessarily have an answer. Oo. Okay. Not blaming DBM. I'm just shocked that, surprised. Kasi even some LB-REMO did not realize that that is the requirement. Kailan pa naging requirement sa DBM? So we're saying the trip is the 3-year rolling program. Bakit ba rolling? Is a requirement of NEDA, DepDev, for all infrastructure projects to be included in the NEP.
Regardless of
Okay.
amount, ma'am, I guess.
Regardless of amount.
Because I've not been advised that there's a threshold.
Even if it's a 5 million multi-purpose building. Okay, so lahat dadaan sa NEDA. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So, DBM does not give, better be sure I'll ask Sekmina, does not provide a NEP in the budget call for any infrastructure of any department if there's no trip, if you don't go through NEDA. I'm not sure that's accurate, Not sure that's accurate. So, I am told sometimes, I hope DBM is not being selective. I hope you don't ignore the trip when it's convenient, because a trip must be linked with the NEP because NEDA reviews the alignment with the PDP. So, I hope what you're saying is accurate, and I hope that you are doing it across the board, not selective. You're sure? You're certain?
Yes, Madam Chair. And also po, it's unfortunate din po na hindi complete yung requirements ng NMP for the submission po for the infra kasi po it doesn't prove na implementation ready na po yung kanilang
I
document.
agree with you that funds that should be included in the NEP are implementation ready. I agree with you 100%. But I'm not certain that is accurate, that everything should go through NEDA for a trip, even a 5 million multipurpose building. I'm not sure that's accurate. We have to clarify that, LBRMO. ibig sabihin na lahat ng NEP na infrastructure ay dumaan sa NEDA at may trip. Tama. Check natin kung totoo yun. Sige, anyway, so wala kayo capital outlay, kinaklaro ko lang yun. So
Yes.
you'll know what to do next year. So it's up to the chair to augment your budget, assuming you have a shovel-ready project.
Yes. Everything
Baka
in
naman mababa implementation nyo. Oh.
Yes.
Jeremy, I suggest explore complying with the trip if it's really the requirement.
No, absolutely.
I mean, for this budget cycle, it's not going to affect the next, whether we will include amendments or not. But
Okay.
just as a practice, why don't you just do it already?
All right.
And then if it's, I'm sure it's just a tabletop compliance, submit to us a copy as well.
Okay. I will, sir.
All right.
And it's great to hear from you, Sec Fatima, that DepEd is also going into this. So I think you would expect us to all harmonize. So yeah, because our process since time immemorial is we seek the endorsement of the DepEd secretary to DBM for the NEP. So now it's like, okay, we need to seek the endorsement pa rin of Sec Sani, but now we have to go to also to NEDA, and we just feel it's another layer. But we will comply, and we will talk with DepEd to see how we can do what they're doing. Yeah.
Well, this is a requirement by DBM, and we'll request from DBM also the document that prescribes the trip
Yes.
insofar as approving capital outlay and approving their NEP. Just submit to us some documents so we will be guided as well.
That means all projects of DPWH in the NEP went through the trip. No, because kasi nga hindi binigyan ng National Museum kasi walang trip sa DepDev. So ibig sabihin lahat ng bypass roads, highways, flood control in the NEP of 2026 went through the NEDA. Tama? Ganun ba 'yon? Lahat dumaan sa NEDA, ang NEP. O sige, tignan natin kung tama.
Mamo, si Kat just provided me with documents. This is a Department of Budget and Management, National Economic Development Authority, Joint Circular 2024-02.
2024, hindi 2016. Bago lang.
And then it says here that trip shall be submitted by NEDA to the DBM upon approval, confirmation of the Infracom. So I guess the trip will be given to NEDA, tama ba? And then it will be given to the DBM. No?
2024 yan.
Oo. Ginawa nilang mandatory. I think that
Bali,
the
yung
concept
NEDA
was
po
there
will
but not
evaluate and endorse po sa DBM. Except po yung mga classrooms because they are population-based. So, they can be exempted po sa trip classrooms.
Po, ma'am, if I may chime in, it would be easier for NMP to submit and comply with the trip kasi some of the wish list po nila phase 2 na. So may phase 1 na. So ibig sabihin shovel ready na 'yon kasi nag phase 1 na sila. Opo.
Correct. If it's phase 2, that's compliant with the trip. Why do you have to go through another department, DepDev, to approve, to give? It's common sense to continue. Let's say cultural center. We just came from there. ASEAN, I don't know, they said a part of ASEAN will be held there. And it's zero in the NEP. I was shocked. I don't know how you can augment 2.5 billion for cultural center. And it's zero in the NEP. Maybe they did not go through the DepDev trip.
All right. So, how many more questions? No more. Just submit to us a copy of the trip for your 2026, just to take a look at it. It will not have any bearing whether we will add it or not, just to see what will be the contents of that trip. No? because like what they said, no, a lot of your projects are already ongoing projects, phase 2. So these are projects that are geared towards completion. No? So we just want to look at that.
Phase 2, mga phases.
Mga phase, yeah.
New projects, I mean not new projects, but continuing.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Our wish list now is only continuing. We removed now all the new projects.
So it's obviously shovel ready. So why would you not provide unless there's slow or low utilization? So it doesn't have to go through DepDev again if it's a continuing project.
Well, we will, but we've been told it's a requirement, so we will comply, ma'am. Yeah.
If
But
it's a
as to the
requirement
policy, well, that's certainly.
it's not selected.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. So we will submit to you on the COA issues and our plans for resolving them, and then the trip information.
Okay, right.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, I don't have any more questions. So
You asked them all already?
not yet.
Oh,
not yet.
ako lang.
Birthday niya eh, so nauna siya.
You better go.
Oh, birthday niya.
Oh,
Baka,
no,
baka may date pa si... may birthday date pa.
Thank
There
you, Ms.
being no further questions, the budget of the National Museum of the Philippines is now deemed submitted for plenary consideration, subject to the discussion and the submission of documents requested. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
With that,
Chairman.
yeah.
Thank you,
I
Senator
just
Legarda.
wanted to remind DG Barnes on the amendment I made for GAA 2025 for the documentation of the Rizal collection in
Berlin.
Berlin for
Yes.
the Berlin Ethno Museum.
Yes, ma'am.
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing, and it's
Christina
on
one.
track to be launched next month at the book fair.
Okay.
Yes.
So nagamit nyo?
Opo.
Okay, very good.
Thank
Thanks.
you for lending us the beautiful paintings here.
Thank
Diba?
you.
It came from National Museum.
Yes, in partnership with the Fundación Sanso.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So the next will be NBDB, and you may be excused, Jeremy. It's your birthday, so.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, Madam Senator.
Go ahead.
Okay, I will present NBTB. The file that you have, I had consolidated the PowerPoint a little bit, so it's a little bit different from the file that you have. So I will start. So the NBDB, we are the agency in charge of the Philippine book publishing sector. So we work with trade book and textbook industry. And our stakeholders, of course, are consumers, our readers. We work with publishers, we work with creatives, we work with government agencies and organizations for capacity building, research, and procurement. What is the role of NBDB in the book value chain? So we work with the entire life cycle. We make sure that there is access and readership through our programs such as the Book Nook, book fairs, readership and development grants. We work with marketing and distribution and ensuring that there is access to these books. We work in development, manuscript writing, and publishing as well. What is in terms of the focus of NBDB, for the domestic market, our goal is to educate and provide more market access points for our books. And for the international market, we work on content and books as an export product because that is something that isn't fully realized yet. Yes, in terms of our universe, what we do as NBDB in order for us to capture our stakeholders, we do a registration program. From 2020, we only had about 500 registered, and now we have 3,683 stakeholders. So who does that comprise? That comprises our creatives, which is our editors, our illustrators, our authors. It includes all of the companies that are included in the book publishing value chain, which is all of your publishers, your printers, your distributors. and others as well, such as literary educators, librarians, subject matter experts, and the like. So it has grown in the last few years. In terms of ISBN growth, it's quite exciting to see what has happened again in the last 4 years. In 2020, we had the lowest ISBN ever at 6,666. And this was due to COVID and just publishing issues. So an ISBN is essentially an SKU. So these are individual products, so the books that we actually produce. And 2024, we're at about 13,000, and in 2025, we're almost about 15,000 in terms of ISBN. And this looks very, very promising for our industry. In terms of recorded sales, 2023, we had about 13 billion. 2024 is a bit higher. We're looking at about 16 billion in terms of sales. And then this year, we are looking at about 17, 18 billion in terms of sales. So it's actually growing. So in terms of our programming, we have different programming because we want to hit the local market, of course, and expand readership. So we don't work on literacy, we work on readership and expanding the growth of our readers. We have a fantastic program, it's called the Book Nook Project. And the Book Nook Project is really reading centers all around the country that help supplement the Department of Education and their libraries. So the difference between a Book Nook and a library, it's a reading center that can be located anywhere. It could be at a bus, in a school, in a museum, in a house, and these book nooks are really focused in on setting up a kind of a vibrant area for families to go to and read, because readership is not is a habit. So we really want to create that habit. And in terms of I would like to show the map of where the book nooks are. So now we have 133 sites. We have 1,200 books per site with titles that reflect the languages that people speak all around the country, the 135 languages. That's what we're trying to promote. And we train the area where the book nook is, we train them on how to manage an actual space, not like a library, but more on an activity space where people can really engage. So we have all the way north, Bontoc, down south, all the way to Cebutu. Okay, so this is all around the country. Next year, we want to add about 20 more book nooks. And with a book nook, it's exciting because we hit two birds with one stone. Our books and our book publishing industry, the problem is our books are not available in many of the bookstores. Why? The reason is the commissions are a little bit high when they put the books in the bookstores. It's about 30 to 40%. And many of our publishers are small, micro to small to medium enterprises. So in terms of margins, they can't really make it, so they sell online. So you won't really see our books around the country. So that's what we're trying to do. We purchase the books from these publishers that don't have access to the reader, and ensuring that the reader has a connection with these books, right? That they might not see in bookstores and that they won't see in libraries. Another program that we have. So here's here's one of our book nooks. You have it in a hut. We also have it in libraries across the country. There. Here's our book reading projects. Okay, there you have that. There are some photos of that. Okay, so aside from our reading and book nooks, we also have a program called the Philippine Book Festival. So the problem in the Philippines is access. We don't have access to our own books, and we have such wonderful work that is already out there. Large agencies that are procuring in bulk, such as the Department of Education, when they're procuring, it is difficult to scan and look at the books online or go to a store. So we bring the books to you with the Philippine Book Festival. And with this, this festival is essentially a book fair, and you have mostly Filipino books. Last year, there's a 4 billion sale with the Department of Education. We trained the scopers of the Department of Education, about 750. We teach teachers how to look at books that are exciting for their students, such as comics, engaging children's books, even romance, so that kids will want to read. The conversation has always been about textbooks, and we do understand the importance of textbooks, and we really are looking at ways to make that the procurement and the systems more efficient. But looking at books that you read for fun or trade books are important for children so that they create that reading habit. And that's what we're trying to do with our book fairs all around the country. Okay, so here's just photos of the book fair. So because we're trying to create a habit and engaging teachers to buy books and engaging the public, we make it fun for everyone. So we have students come in, and every year they now look forward to this book fair. We have about 40,000 guests per year that visit the book fair in Manila. But next year we want to expand to all of the different regions. We have about 3 in our wish list, but hopefully we can have more. Okay, so here we have our laklat. Okay, I have one more minute and 32 seconds. And of course, working on policy with the Department of Education, we can do the research. We can look at the supply chain, analyze the supply chain, look at the industry and the gaps. Okay, so in terms of our budget, I will skip that. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Is it stuck? Oh, okay. All right. In terms of our budget utilization, so for the last 11 years, we've had an unmodified opinion by COA. Last year, we were at 95% obligation, 86% disbursement rate, and you can see the years before as well. All right. Sorry, this. Okay, I will go ahead to our wish list. Okay. In terms of our wish list, because we're taking care of the entire industry, and you have about 3,800 stakeholders, including all of the publishing companies, the printers, all of the authors in the country, we need to increase our personnel services. Our wish is 348 million. Our wish list is 192 million. Our personal services, we need to up that. Our maintenance and other operating expenses. We work out of a 500 square meter space. 4 years ago, we only had 30 personnel. Now we're at 120 because we have so many programs, and we're training both all of the creatives and the publishers, and we constantly have to go out and rent spaces so that we can train. So we really want to integrate and have our own office. I will share with you here our wish list line by line. So general admin, our national festivals, again, I said the Philippine Book Fair is integral to help DepEd procure the books that they need and help other schools as well. Our readership programs such as the Book Nooks, again, we would like to have 20 more Book Nooks. So from 133 this year, we would like to have 20 more. Our awards and grants. So as NBDB, we support the entire process in terms of production of books. So the manuscript, the translation, the publication. This year, we are fast-tracking the translation of many of our books into the different languages that we speak. But also we are translating outward because we have such a huge diaspora and we have no representation of the Philippines. We are translating outwards into Arabic, into French, into German, and then as well. So we are also working on our policy, our international fairs. This year, we are the guest of honor in Frankfurter Buchmesse. Frankfurter Buchmesse is the largest rights trading fair in the world, and our books are ready for export. They are ready for right selling. Right now, we have about 1.8 million in sales for our exports, but that's only distribution. Right sales have not been accounted for because we are just starting. We have about 249 titles that have been purchased through right sales. So if you're not familiar with right sales, this is what Trece did, and what Harry Potter does. So they sell their books, they translate it to different languages and also to different other creative industries as well. Yes po. So that is our request again is mainly for MOE and gas, for our office space, because we don't have a big enough office space just for our employees and for all of our 3,800 stakeholders, 20 million for capital outlay, which is just furniture, and our grants and international fairs as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Edie Tugade. All right. Any questions to
I
the
always
book?
talk to them. No.
To the
Do they have a wish list?
Meron?
Yes
How
po.
much total?
It's
192.
192 million because the reason why it's high because we need to our new office space for the translation program, because we're joining guests of honor. Our translation for next year is only at 2 million and it won't be enough for the industry. So because we're selling this year, we will anticipate more about 300 to 400 right sales, and we need to provide that subsidy so there will be more pickups for our titles.
You're moving office,
Yes po, our office is too small in Fairview.
and it's got something to do with the translations? No.
No.
That's different.
Yeah, our office, our space was really for about 30 to 40 employees, but now we're about 110.
But the bulk of your wish list for your budget is due to translation or the office space?
The office space is quite small. It's only 17, but it's for the Book Nook, the Philippine Book Festival, international fairs, the translation grant. So it's all divided.
Okay. Yeah. Just give us a copy of the wish list
Okay.
and the justification for each, yeah. But I don't chair your budget, so it's up to the chair to augment it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Right now, you're renting your office from where?
We are renting our office now in Fairview.
Fairview.
And we
Why
plan
not just
to-
rent it from DepEd? You're an attached
Yes, why don't
agency.
you occupy a DepEd space? Wala ba?
Bigyan mo na, Fatima.
Pwede nyo bigyan?
500 square meters lang.
Oh, I need about 1,000.
1,000.
700.
Kayo, bigyan na lang yun. Tipid.
You know, the property,
Malapit pa sa inyo.
the Pasig property of DepEd is 20 hectares.
Hindi naman sila nandun eh, di ba? Ginagawa rin yun eh.
Opo, nire-rehab po yung Pasig Central Office. But we're renting now. Baka po pwede sila sa amin. Sa Makati. Makati po.
But in the future, you can allocate, I'm sure you can allocate 1,000 square
Pwedeng
meter.
lipat sila ng lipat.
Opo, may plan po ang Central Office, a 7-story building for the Central Office. Maybe we can accommodate them.
When?
Opo. Mag-start pa lang po this year, ma'am, yung project po. So baka in 2 years' time, opo, to build pa po sa Central Office. Opo.
Pasig.
Opo, sa Pasig po.
But you can consider that their future office in your office so that they can save on rent.
Opo, yes,
They're an
Mr.
attached
Chair.
agency naman of DepEd eh.
Yes,
1,000
Mr.
square
Chair.
meters lang pala office nyo.
It's not so much.
Oo. Yung office space nyo ngayon, meron?
We're renting now, ma'am, kasi nire-rehab po yung office po sa Pasig.
Yeah. Yeah, but moving forward, I think it's better for them because it's Fairview pa, layo. It's better since they're your attached agency and I'm sure they report to the secretary every now and then. It's better to move them to your office and we save on rent. So just usap na lang kayo, Fatima. And then my next question is, how many book publishers do we have in the Philippines?
In terms of the book publishers, give me one moment. It's here in. Divine. Can you open this, Divine? I need the Canva. It's here. Okay. For the book publishers, we have 365 registered book publishing companies.
And do they have the capacity to print textbooks for our public schools?
Yes.
You've run down the 365 publishers' capacity, and they have the capacity to supply our textbooks?
Yes.
Okay.
The problem with textbooks sometimes is that if the curriculum guides are finalized, and if the call is early and the publishers have enough time to print the textbooks, they can do it.
Because during the budget hearing of DepEd, and I'm very happy to hear this, that DepEd has liberalized the way we procure textbooks. So DepEd will no longer make the manuscripts, but instead they will accredit titles. So they'll accredit titles, download the funds to the regional offices, and the regional offices will now be allowed to procure textbooks. So we're decentralizing procurement as well, because to date, only 2 out of the 10 grades have complete textbooks. And textbooks is a problem. Now, the direction of the Senate is to use that flood control funds to fund essential inputs, one of which is textbooks. So we want to fund textbooks. And next is, do we have the capacity? We may put money in DepEd's budget to buy textbook, but can the publishers print the textbooks and supply DepEd? We will need approximately 140 million textbooks. Do we have the capacity? Do the publishers have the capacity?
I think if the publishers have enough time to do it, they can. And we really need to check the companies that are bidding for these textbooks so that they're not sister companies trying to bid for the same.
That's a procurement. That's a procurement issue. But
Yes.
my concern is the absorptive capacity of DepEd.
Yes, I think it's possible. We had met with publishers about 4 days ago when this question was raised, and they said that they can do it as long as they're given enough time to print.
Yeah, but when you say enough time, the time should be in time for school opening.
Yes. So if it's about 6 to 8 months before, if the call is 6 to 8 months before, they can do it. They'll be able to do it.
Okay. Just make sure that we have the capacity.
Yes.
And can you do a study on the requirements of DepEd with textbooks, and then correlate it with the capacities of the publishers, so that we will make sure that when we put money to DepEd and they will procure textbooks, the publishers can serve those requirements.
Okay, we'll do that, sir.
Because that's important, because we don't want to allocate funds then, but the publishers cannot support DepEd.
Yes, yes.
So it's important that we already study the publishing industry, which is under your purview.
Yes, Bob.
Right. So just run, for example, 365 publishers, what is their capacity? How much textbook can they produce in a month? How much textbook can they deliver in the next few days? Because delivery is also another challenge. For example, if they download money, let's say in Region 7, how many publishers do we have there? Can the publishers deliver to all the schools in Region 7? Because we're now talking about delivering to schools. So those are the analysis that we need.
in terms of purchaser, is that it's already per region, right? So then
Yes, per
we
region.
can-
It's going to be
Okay.
procured by the regional directors.
Okay,
Yeah.
we will do
You
that, sir.
mentioned 375 publishers in the Philippines. That includes also the small ones, the
Yes,
independent
po.
publishers already. Which of the 375 or how many are actually DepEd publishers or suppliers?
I don't have the data now, but I
Just
can
provide
check.
us the publishers and what kind of books. You have the basic information. And who
Okay.
are the DepEd publishers already?
Okay, we'll do that, ma'am.
Uh,
More budget. That's on the textbook because again we want to support the DepEd with the necessary inputs. Textbooks is essential. It's an essential input to learning. So we want to make sure that our learners will have the required textbooks. But it's a function of number one, the capacity, and then number two, logistics. If the publishers can deliver it to all of our different schools. We have close to about 50,000 schools. So this publisher should be able to deliver it per school so that we cut too much centralization of our textbook procurement. Okay. Okay. Another, this is in the COA findings, is the National Book Development Plan. I think this is a mandate under the law, but so far the NBDB has not formulated a national book policy. So any updates on the National Book Development Plan, also the National Book Policy?
Yes, sir. So what we're doing, it has been a catch-up after COVID and trying to just mobilize all of the publishers because it was disjointed. So now we're working on more research to input for the national book policy, such as the supply chain analysis, which we're already starting to work on, and the industry analysis, which will entail your questions about capacity. So we need to do the research and do the research first and then work on the national book policy, which we're already working on for next year. That's one of our plans. But we have to do this research first in order to make sure that it's robust.
Correct. Well, the question I posed earlier about the textbook is related to the National Book Development Plan and National Book Policy.
Yes, Bob.
Because this is looking at the entire industry and the capability of the industry and the capacity, of course. So it's interrelated. And when do you plan to complete this development plan and book policy?
We will have that completed probably the third quarter of next year.
How come so long?
Because there's just so many components to the industry. If we focus just on the textbook industry, perhaps we can have it earlier, and then the trade book section a little bit later. But we can certainly rush and make that our priority so that we can work on it earlier and have it by the second quarter.
Yes, I understand that this development plan also requires supply chain analysis and all of those requirements.
Yes, Bob.
So, again, going back to what I required you to submit to us, also requires supply chain analysis. For example, do we have enough paper importers? Do we have enough paper supply? Things like that. Those need an analysis. And this plan and this policy requires those analysis. So, can you?
I apologize. Our agency, we're still growing, so our research section is not big enough to do all of the research, so we're outsourcing it, and we go through all this bidding process. Last year, we actually went through a bidding process that had failed because it was an international agency that had applied to do this supply chain analysis. So we're working on it now as we speak, and yeah, so I can't, in terms of that information for the national book policy, second quarter to third quarter next year. And we'll work on it as fast as we can.
All right, just submit to us a schedule on that.
Sure.
And I think that's part of your mandate, so it's
Yes,
important
po.
to complete that. I think you have amounts to subcontract the research, so why don't you just subcontract the research? Yeah. Get locals to do the analysis.
Yes, po.
You don't need to get an international firm to do it. I think locals can already do it. The academe can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So let's do it as quick as possible because we will use that book publishing development program as a source to know whether we can supply textbooks to DepEd or not.
Surely.
Yeah.
We'll work on that. Thank you.
All right. Any more questions? Wala naman. For me, that's it. So, there being no further questions, the budget of the National Book Development Board is now deemed submitted for the plenary's consideration, subject to the discussion and submission of documents requested.
So, Chair, do you intend to augment the budget? Because I don't think the NEP had some of the book fairs there.
Yeah, we will.
Maybe you.
We will study the
you list
recommendation.
the book fairs that are of utmost priority. Maybe
Yeah.
say it on record. Which of the book fairs are priority?
The Philippine Book Festival and the 3 regional fairs that we plan to do, and in terms of international, it would be Frankfurt Book Fair.
Because no, Frankfurt is for this year, and the regular stand, the Philippine stand.
Yes.
Oh, that's not in the NEP. It's not.
Just a portion of it, a portion, not the
Okay.
entirety. The translation program as well is not in it.
Because after the Frankfurt Book Fair this year, we can't just end on October 19, end. Sayang naman yung ating pinuhunan, right? We invested so much, when not money, but man hours and all the 10 years that I poured into that. And if they zeroed you again in the NEP for the Frankfurt Book Fair next year, there should be continuity. Not, of course, as guest of honor, but just a regular stand.
But,
I'm sure you have.
Now we are at 8.
I said I was not going to ask, but I'm
We have
surprised
8.
that it.
Let me show the request, the proposed budget.
Wala kayong Philippine stand for 2026?
We do have a Philippine stand, and in the NEP it's 10 million.
What's the cost of our regular Philippine stand when we're not guest of honor?
The 10 million. But this is small. This is for a 40 square meter space.
No, from the last stand we had before we became, well, last year. What
Yes.
was the cost of that
I can
space?
check. I don't have the.
It should at least go back to that same space.
Yes.
We don't go back to how we were long ago.
Okay.
Right? And then, what are the important
Okay.
book fairs that we must attend post Frankfurt?
For post Frankfurt, it's the Angoulême Book Fair, and this is in France. So it's a comic book fair. So in terms of our graphic novel output internationally, this is the ones that are the most sought out and number 1 in translations. So we do Angoulême and we do Bologna, which is a children's book fair as well. Yes. But our priority is Frankfurt and Angoulême.
Can you go to the next slide, Comsec? I think that's where the fair. Yeah.
Yes, po.
Okay. So national book fairs, 14 million. International festivals, 26 million. Those are the festivals, no, or book fairs.
Yes, po.
Okay.
Globally.
The annual book festival that we have, what do you call it? National Book
The
Festival.
Philippine Book Festival.
It's funded under NEP.
Yes, we have 33
Ayun pala. Okay.
million for that.
Why is there a need for additional 14?
Because we plan to have it regionally. What happens is that everything is so Manila-centric, and that Visayas and Mindanao, they don't have any fairs, and there's no access. So if teachers want to procure, and if students want to see what's out there, they...
Idea. I would support the regional book fairs, book festivals.
Thank you.
Some details of this request. For example, national festivals. The additional 14 is for, you said earlier, for region, like which region, or you have it already? Ah, there.
Yes, we have it here,
It's
po.
here. Okay. Okay. In Frankfurt, it's 10. All of these book fairs, you have a report after that. Like, for example, how many books have we sold?
Yes.
How many publishers benefited from these book fairs? Do we have all of those reports?
Yes, we have a report. We
Okay.
can send that over as well.
Okay. Yeah, just submit to the committee some accomplishment reports of the book fairs so we can do a cost-benefit analysis.
Sure thing. I will work on that.
All right? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next will be the Philippine... Ano ito? Philippine High School for the Arts.
Okay, isang maganda at isang makasining na hapon po, Senator Win Gatchalian, DepEd family, DBM, COA, and friends in the industry. I'll start off with just the mandate of the PHSA to shorten our presentation. The PHSA is mandated to implement a general secondary level program combined with special curriculum oriented to the arts and geared to the early recognition and development of highly talented children in the arts. And then vision, a National Center of Excellence in Secondary Arts Education producing exceptionally creative artists, leaders who preserve and develop Filipino cultural heritage towards social transformation of the nation. Next slide, please. Ito na po ang ating pong NEP, totaling to 160,737,000. Doon po, personal services, 46, and then maintenance and other operating expenses, 75, capital outlay, 35. This is for the rehabilitation po of our almost 50-year-old facilities. You've been there, Senator Win, Mr. Chair. And then RLIP totaling 160,737. Next slide, please. And then, as you can see, a comparative budget, 2025 versus 2026. In summary, an increase of 4% from last year, to shorten my presentation. Next slide. And then historical budget performance, disbursement rate of ranging from 87% to 94.1, the highest last year, and then currently at 69.2%. Next. Physical performance, enrollment of students this year, we are happy to announce that we have complied with this, and we have 103%, 205 students from the targeted 200. And then beneficiaries of outreach performances and workshops, 307%. We've been very active in sharing our presentations, our performances, not only with the LGU, but also, for example, with the DepEd, whenever they need us. We also conduct our flagship program, the Brigada Sining, which I will explain in detail later on. And then research-based artworks, published, staged, and mounted. This means that our students, especially in the senior high school level, produce and present their own solo exhibits, solo recitals, and book launches. Next slide, please. Yeah, 58.3 obligation rate as of June 30, 2025. Next. Historical physical performance. Ito po yung 2024. A little low at 97%. Yung ating enrollment of artistically gifted students, which we were able to correct this year. And then percentage increase in beneficiaries, outreach performances, and workshops, 484%. Yung actual natin for FY 2024. Next slide, please. Yes, as I mentioned a while ago, 98.7% obligation rate for 2024, and then for 2023, 95.2. So increasing po yan. From 2022 to 2024. Next slide. Wish list po. For our MOOE, 11 million, and capital outlay, machinery and equipment outlay, land improvements, including riprapping procedure because of erosion, building other structures, 54 million, transportation equipment for 0.5 million, totaling to 100 million plus 11 million MOOE, 111,800,000. Next, please. Yung total wish list, as you can see, MOOE, 11,000, and then 11 million, then capital outlay, 100 million. Yes, issues and concerns, ito nga, because of our facilities designed by the national artist Leandro Locsin, which was declared by the National Museum as an important cultural property, which needs rehabilitation as it approaches 50 years now. And then we maintain two facilities at the Makiling and Mount Makiling, and then Bae, which is the town adjacent to Los Baños for our senior high. So we're requesting additional budget for this. Next, please. So your increased rate of students' meals currently at 270, I think. And then outreach programs such as Makasining's PHSA, which is in a sense our CSR, we're sharing with LGU and DepEd, wherein our young students as early as grade 9 conduct workshops for grade 5 and grade 6 elementary students. And then additional regional testing centers for the selections of scholars. We have added Quezon and Dagupan, Pangasinan, apart from our usual testing centers of Manila, Los Baños, Bicol, Tacloban, Dumaguete, General Santos, and Cagayan de Oro. And then strategic planning for future plans as we approach the 50th year in 2 years. And staffing modification, in the sense we have to increase our staff to be able to accommodate the needs of the PHSA. Next slide, please. Ito po yung ating enrollment ngayon. So grade 7, naka 59 po tayo. And then hopefully we'll be able to sustain this 59 for incoming students, more or less 60. But currently we have 206 in total. Next, please. Yun, highlights, yours truly was awarded for public service by our LGU. And then itong ating pinakahuli, a group of our alumni were chosen or invited to perform at the Osaka Expo 2025 as members of the Alice Reyes Dance Philippines. We have about 10 graduates in that group. Next slide, please. Yes, as I mentioned, Brigada Sining, this has been ongoing for 3 years now, and we are approaching the 4th. And hopefully we'll be able to share this not only with our LGU of Los Baños, but also the nearby LGUs. And then we have outreach programs, also with other towns such as Pagsanhan in Laguna. Next slide. Yun. CCP, Cultural Center of the Philippines, we regularly perform for the Pasinaya Festival of the Cultural Center of the Philippines. And then here's one, our grade 10 student Wincesiana, who was the grand finalist of Voice Kids Philippines. She didn't win the she didn't win the award, but she was the runner-up last year. Theater arts students po siya. And then our folk dance group performed for DepEd's CIMEO Council flagship program, and also for the National Teachers Day last October, held at the Araneta Coliseum. Next slide. Our graduates, moving up students, grade 10. Next slide, please. This is the presentation of our students in their solo recitals, exhibits, and book launching. For example, for dance, they choreograph the entire show. Ganyan po yan. For music, they perform for the whole evening in their solo recital. And they have their own posters. And we invite audience from Los Baños and from DepEd to attend. Next slide, please. Yeah, and for visual arts students selected as part of the International High School Arts Festival held in Japan. And one of our students there was awarded a Certificate of Merit. This was held last August to 2025. And then as a grade 7 student, won the grand prize at the Asia Arts Festival in Singapore. And local naman, this little boy won the first prize in on-the-spot painting competition held at Pac Hill, Laguna. Next slide. Ito yan. Our young graduates, for our graduates this year, we have their one summa cum laude at the UST, and then I think about 7 from either UP, and one from Leyte Normal University. So these are young. Medyo nag-aani na po tayo sa ating mga graduates. And hopefully, because we are also mandated to produce cultural leaders of the future, this is our, in a sense, our pride and joy. And not included in the list, I would say that I have a partial tally of 15 UP professors from our graduates, led by one who is currently the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs of UP Cebu and formerly the Dean of Fine Arts. And also one ASEC from DepEd, and also one director at the Commission, Civil Service Commission. Next one. Yan. Alumni achievers pa rin yan. Next one, please. Next slide. And then we have one of our graduates who was appointed as the president of the Philippine Folk Dance Society. And then I don't know if you are ballet connoisseurs, there's this Philippine Ballet Theater production of Maria Makiling, wherein the artistic director and the dancer who played the role of Maria Makiling are both graduates of the PHSA. Then we have two graduates, music graduates who are currently based in the US, and they came back to give master classes for our students. The other one is currently, the first one, Andrew Constantino, is now a clarinetist of a symphony orchestra in China. Next slide, please. Okay, here are our facilities, as I mentioned, designed by the late national artist Leandro Locsin. So we have to preserve the integrity of his design. And these buildings are approaching 50 years old now. Next slide. Ayan po. Secretary Sani Angara supports rehabilitation of our facilities. In fact, he visited us also last April. Next. And that's the end of the presentation.
Thank you, Professor. Professor, I saw in your budget that the special secondary education for the arts program under the 2026 NEP decreased by 17% from 65 million to 53 million. This is your main program, diba? Special secondary education. This is the heart and soul of the Philippine High School for the Arts. So what will be the effect of this 17% decrease? This is the core mandate of Philippine High School for the Arts. What will be the effect?
Mr. Chair, I think that was because of the SICA.
SICA,
Additional
the
funding
congressional...
from the previous year. That's why it was decreased.
Congressional initiatives yan. But why will Congress add budget to your secondary education? Normally, ina-add nila capital outlay, diba?
I think DepEd initiative po ito sa
DepEd initiative. So now nabawasan, will it affect your operation? This is core operations to eh. This is ito yung pinaka ano nyo eh.
Yes, may effect po siya.
Anong effect niya? Saan yung PowerPoint nito? Yung PowerPoint nila. Anong effect niya?
Yung doon po kami humihingi sa hopefully ma-increase yung food namin from 200 250 was granted by the DBM, and hopefully we can increase it later to 300 pesos per day for our scholars.
Yeah, but this decrease from 53 million to 65 million, will it affect your operations? Ano bang magiging...
Doon po babawi, Your Honor, sa...
Mababawasan ba yung estudyante? Ano bang magiging ano niya? This is operations kasi. I just want to understand because I am assuming your wish list contains the increase of your program, no? The special secondary education for the arts program. But I have to justify the increase. Why? What?
Kaya po yung dun sa wish list, yun po yung ma-fill yung ating gap po doon. Ang naging expense po, yung naging additional, hopefully mabibigay through the wish list, yung additional food expenses, and then po yung ating recruitment all over the Philippines for search of scholars, and then also salary of visiting faculty. Yung decrease naman po yon ay hindi naman big effect sa ating
Okay. Yun ang gusto ko lang maintindihan. But your wish list contains increase in the per capita cost of food.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
From 250 to 300.
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
All right. And then, how many enrollees do we have now?
Currently, 205, Mr. Chair.
Nakita ko sa anong cohort survival rate natin?
Well, actually, yung mini-maintain po natin, Mr. Chair, ay 200 per year. Last year, doon lang po bumaba tayo ng naging 194. Pero ngayon, nag-pick up na po tayo sa 205. And hopefully, we-maintain po natin yon, even to increase little by little.
But ano yung cohort survival? How many yung pumapasok? How many nag-graduate?
Ngayon, Mr.
Kasi
Chair.
nakita ko dito first, this is just a rough snapshot. School year 2025-2026, ang grade 7, 59, grade 12, 28. So, I'm assuming na habang tumataas yung grade level nila, nababawasan ng students.
Okay.
Marami nag-drop out along the way. So, what is the survival rate?
I think hopefully, Your Honor, itong konti ang yung maliit na batch na nabanggit nyo na 28, tataas na po ito kasi ito yung mga nung nagsimula yung senior high school program and then pandemic, nagkaroon ng gantong sitwasyon. Pero nagpipick up na po tayo dito sa more recent
Pero
years.
yung on the average, ilan ang nagsusurvive from grade 7 all the way to graduation?
Okay. Kasi po, yung sistema namin, which we are changing now, for example, kung ano yung graduating batch.
For one cohort lang, ilan ang survival rate niya? Typically, may
more or less,
100, di naman 100%, may nalalagas
Apo,
yan along the way,
usually,
diba?
more or less, ang mga 10 students, up to 10.
10 students
Apo.
ang nawawala.
Apo.
Out of the
200.
ang pumapasok is around 60, di ba?
Yes.
So 10, so 1/6 ang nalalagas along the way.
Yes. Apo.
Tama? So that's about 15%. Or ang cohort survival is about 85%, more or
Opo.
less, di ba?
Kasi, pero out of the entire population na po
Yes,
yan.
yes. Oo. So tama ba? 85% ang nagsusurvive from grade 7 all the way to graduation. More or less lang, more or
Yes,
less.
yes. Yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
And what's the reason why yung 15 nagda-drop out? Anong reason?
Yung experience namin previously, isa doon yung mental health issues that students encounter. Meron din po yung requirements din kung minsan hindi ma-maintain ng ating mga students kasi mataas ang standards na hinihiling natin sa kanila, especially in the arts. Tapos may academic requirements pa rin na kanilang kailangan na ma-comply.
So maraming encountering pressure.
Yes, Mr. Chair, but we are doing our best through intervention so that our students will be more equipped and more confident, not only artistically but also academically. Ang hirap magawa yung balanse sa arts at saka po sa
Meron ba
academics.
kayong how do you address the mental health issues?
Yes, we have currently a guidance counselor.
Meron kayong guidance
Apo.
counselor, okay.
Tapos meron kaming kinuhang part-time psychometrician to assist also.
So you have a full-time guidance counselor.
Yes, Mr.
At least,
Chair.
At least meron kayong guidance counselors. All right. Let's talk about the wish list. I saw in your wish list, meron kayong land improvements, 40 million. In big ticket lang, building and other structures, 54 million. What are the details of this 94 million?
For land improvement, riprapping procedure po because we had an erosion in our second campus. Medyo gumuguho na yung lote sa likod, so we have to improve that or
Okay.
else the problem will worsen.
Okay.
Ayan po yung building other structures po, as you've been to our campus, it's a 50-year-old campus and we have to rehabilitate. Lalo na po pag umuulan ay madaming tumutulo na rin.
Itong capital outlay ninyo na 35 is for meron kayong 35 million.
Yes, that's for our yung theater po, Maria Makiling, which you've been to. Kasi
Yung Leandro Mendoza.
po, Leandro Locsin.
Sorry. Leandro Mendoza, congressman yung sa Batangas. Si Dong Mendoza. Sorry. Leandro Locsin building. So, i-rehabilitate yun.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Alright. Sige. Submit to us na lang a formal request for your wish list. So, we would request from the agencies to submit to us a formal request to make it official. Kasi itong mga presentation, napansin namin, nagbabago to along the way. No? So, para lang to make it official, we would request from agencies to submit it to us formally. No? All right. So, with that, wala na akong questions, Professor. There being no other further questions, the budget of the Philippine High School for the Arts is now deemed submitted for plenary's consideration, subject to the discussion and submission of the documents requested. Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Salamat, Mr. Chair.
Salamat. So next will be NCCT, National Council for Children's Television.
Honorable Chair, heads of Department of Education and attached agencies, my fellow DepEd family, isang makabatang araw po sa ating lahat. Allow me po to introduce our agency. So, the National Council for Children's Television is mandated to promote and encourage the production and broadcast of developmentally appropriate television programs for children and to monitor the implementation of other government policies and regulations for children's broadcast programs. We have 4 general functions: policy formulation, media monitoring, media and information literacy education services, and promotion of content development. So under the policy formulation, the NCCT formulates plans and policies on educational, children's, and child-friendly programming. So in 2019, we were able to produce po the child-friendly content standards, or the CFCS. The CFCS reinforces the compliance of the broadcast television networks, allocating 15% of their daily total airtime to children's program or child-friendly television programs. In 2024, NCCT launched the Comprehensive Media Program for Children, or the CMPC, that will serve as the roadmap of the agency in implementing its programs, projects, and activities from 2024 to 2028. The CMPC also contains initiatives by government and non-government organizations related to the mandates and functions of NCCT. For 2025, this year po, the NCCT has developed the Television Violence Rating Code, or TVVRC, as mandated by law. This will also be launched on October 24, 2025. This code aims to address the evolving media landscape and to strengthen interagency collaboration to better protect children from online risks, such as exploitation and harmful content, which have become increasingly prevalent. NCCT also conducted national research to support its functions, including House Bill number 11217, which was filed last December 2024. It proposes to expand the functions of the agency. From 2015 to 2021, Filipino children shifted from TV to mobile devices and the internet with increased screen time and media multitasking. Parental supervision remained limited, exposing children to violent and non-educational content, negatively impacting their learning behavior and safety online. In 2024, NCCT hosted the first National Research Forum on Filipino children's media engagement, presenting studies that supported the previously discussed findings and underscored the importance of advancing research and policies to protect and empower young media consumers. This year, the research on the relevance of television is expected to be completed, with the NCCT research agenda to be established thereafter. In 2026, NCCT plans to conduct follow-up research aligned with the agency's research agenda for policy recommendations and to hold another national research forum. For media monitoring naman po, the NCCT monitors the children's television program aired during child viewing hours. So broadcast television networks must allocate at least 15% of their daily total airtime to child-friendly television programs. To ensure po that the BTNs, or the broadcast television networks, and other content creators remain informed about the child-friendly content standards and their responsibilities, NCCT has been actively conducting dialogues with content creators over the past years. These sessions serve as a platform for to discuss the importance of producing child-friendly media and to promote compliance with established standards. Next. Next. And under the Media and Information Literacy Education Services, NCCT promotes media education within the formal school system and other non-formal means. So our efforts po is to train and engage children, parents, guardians, and teachers in media and information literacy are designed to not only to elevate critical thinking skills but also to support the holistic development of children. Over the past sessions, we have successfully trained and engaged approximately 1,600 children, equipping them with critical thinking skills through media literacy. This effort was made possible through partnerships with NGOs and private institutions. Also, we successfully trained and engaged around 2,900 parents, guardians, and social workers on smart media parenting through our media literacy program, Katuwang sa Mapanuring Panonood or KASAMAPA, in partnership with the Department of the Interior and Local Government, NGOs, private institutions, and the Department of Social Welfare and Development in NCR. We equipped participants with the tools to develop family media plans that encourage responsible media use at home. In previous years, NCCT has successfully trained and engaged approximately 3,500 public and private basic education teachers on integrating media and information literacy into their lesson plans. Through the Understanding and Utilizing Media in Teaching, or UUMT, training workshop, teachers were equipped with knowledge and practical strategies to include media literacy across different subject areas. NCCT also actively participates in the Global Media and Information Literacy, or MIL Week, co-celebrated with UNESCO. For the promotion of content development, the NCCT supports the production of new programs through the administration of the National Endowment Fund for Children's Television, or NEFC-TV. For the grant fund, the agency received the principal amount from PAGCOR and PCSO on a staggered basis from 2010 to 2013. The interest earned each year is used as the grant fund for that cycle, which is why the amount of the grant fund differs per cycle. Under this program, the NCCT ensures that financial assistance is provided to eligible proponents for the production of media and content specifically designed for Filipino children. Through the years, the NCCT has produced 10 series. So we have the cycle 2012, which is Oyai, by CBN Asia, the first ever series under the program. For 2021, for cycle 2021, we have 5 grantees. We have the Wellness Kada by Love Life Project for Health and Environment. We have Ready, Set, Read by Knowledge Channel Foundation. Miriam's Online World by University of the Philippines Los Baños Foundation. Mga Awit ni Pina by Ateneo de Naga University Press. And Mga Lalakbay by the Jump Cut Experiment. While in cycle 2022, our 4 grantees focus on mental health. We have Friendship Puzzles by Love Life Project for Health and Environment, Tropa Peeps by Center for the Prevention and Treatment of Child Sexual Abuse, or CPTCSA, Okay Ako by GMA Network, and Lakbay Isip by Tanghalang Pilipino Foundation. So these programs po were broadcasted po cycle 2012 sa ABS-CBN, cycle 2021 IBC-TV 13, while cycle 2022 Knowledge Channel Foundation. For cycle 2024, the agency has entered into contracts to produce new series under the grant fund. So the grantees for our cycle 2024 po ay Knowledge Channel Foundation, Love Life Project for Health and Environment, GMA Network, and Pro Productions, Inc. Under the law, NCCT is mandated to promote the development of child-friendly content. To support this, NCCT has developed mechanisms to increase the production of quality content for children. One successful initiative is the DocuBata Video Documentary Contest, which encourages the creation of child-friendly content while celebrating local talent and promoting active child participation in the media industry. Through DocuBata, we have trained and engaged around 21,000 children and media professionals in documentary filmmaking via masterclasses and other activities. This effort has generated over 700 child-friendly documentaries with 70 reaching broadcast quality, contributing significantly to the availability of quality media that supports children's development. To further establish credibility and ensure high-quality training, NCCT has partnered with GMA News and Public Affairs, engaging esteemed documentaries from the award-winning program Eyewitness to mentor young documentary filmmakers. In addition, NCCT collaborates with the Film Development Council of the Philippines, OneFlix platform, to promote child-friendly content, further amplifying the reach and impact of our initiatives. NCCT also actively collaborated with various broadcast networks such as Light TV, CLTV 36, IBC 13, Knowledge Channel, and GMA Network to ensure the airing of developmentally appropriate and culturally relevant content during child viewing hours. These partnerships, NCCT seeks to protect children from harmful media while promoting positive values and learning. This year, NCCT po is focused on co-producing and launching new child-friendly content, continue hosting the DocuBata contest, begin developing production subsidy guidelines, and coordinate with DepEd for streaming NCCT content. In 2026, we further aim to generate more documentaries, capacitate content creators, expand broadcasting and streaming, officially launch the production subsidy guidelines, and establish links with ASEAN countries to promote Filipino child-friendly content. Okay po. For 2026, our total allocation under the NEP is 72.59 million, a decrease of 38.75 million or 35% compared to the fiscal year 2025 GAA of 111 million. Personnel services increased by 17%. MOE was reduced by 45%. And capital outlay, which had 4.2 million in 2025 GAA, now has no allocation under the FY 2026 NEP. This means limitations in acquiring or upgrading essential equipment and facilities. Sige, let's skip that one. Let's proceed po. Allow us to proceed po with the wish list. For 2026, we are requesting po to 83,695,704.28 pesos. To sustain these efforts, our top priorities include the rental lease expenses, other professional services. We also have Philippine Conference on Children and Media. This aims to convene stakeholders and lead the dialogue on child-friendly content development and media literacy. Number 4 po is the production of child-friendly content, to expand support for the creation and broadcast of high-quality children's and child-friendly television programs, including the regional rollout of Lakbay DocuBata, with enhanced competition prizes to stimulate participation and creativity. We have CFCSCO, or Child-Friendly Content Standards Compliance. This aims to support the implementation of the CFCS guidelines. The NCCT will enhance its media monitoring system and launch key advocacy and engagement initiatives. Number 6 is the administration of the National Endowment Fund for Children's Television to expand content development and widen the reach of grantee outputs. MILES, or the Media Information Literacy Education Services. This is to finalize and roll out standardized MIL modules and training of trainers manual. This manual will include a facilitator's guide and structured MIL modules designed to provide trainers with clear, standardized resources for effective program delivery. Midterm review of NCCT 2023 to 2028 strategic plan. We also have the NCCT advocacy campaign, agency performance planning and review, support to GAD-related activities, capacity development training program. This aims to provide orientation on the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards, RACs, and alternate dispute resolution to our stakeholders and our staff. E-budget, and then for the capital outlay, we are requesting 11.3 million. This is for the upgrading of ICT's infrastructure, records management, and HR systems. So that concludes po our request. Muli po mula sa National Council for Children's Television, isang makabatang araw po sa ating lahat.
Let me start off with, I noticed that your budget was also cut from 110 million to 71 million. It was cut across the board from some personals, the MOE, it was cut by 39 million, capital outlay by 4 million. What will be the effect to your operations?
Yes po, we needed to prioritize our implementation po for next year. So, kaya po kasama sa aming wish list yung sa production of child-friendly content. Ito po ay additional funding po para sa broadcast and creation po ng quality, high-quality children's and child-friendly television programs. We also have the Philippine Conference po on Child Media na supposedly po ikakonduct namin next year, but with the cut in budget po, we have to put it on the back of our priorities. Hopefully, we can still conduct this. And then, isa po talaga ang malaking effect is the rental po. So, medyo yun po yung isa sa priority rin po na kailangan namin sana ma-request po.
Na-notice ko, Fatima, yung mga DepEd attached agencies nagre-renta pa. Why don't you just, pati TEC, kakapunta ko lang sa ribbon cutting No? Why sa laki ng lupa ng DepEd in Pasig, that's 20 hectares. Diba? That's 20 hectares. So, that's super prime property. So why don't we build, let's say, an office there, all the attached agencies plus other offices, let's just house them there. Madali pang patawag ng secretary.
Opo, yes, Mr. Chair. Actually po yung binanggit ko po kanina na 7-story building, that could accommodate
That's
po
inside.
Inside the Pasig central office.
Is that funded already?
Yes po, under 2025.
2025.
Opo. Yes
Okay,
po.
okay. So 2025 it has funding. Okay, and then all the DepEd offices will be located there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, kung may space pa, suggest, well, in TEC, bago lang, sayang naman. Kaka-ribbon cutting lang natin. But the other offices, like for example, NCCT, iba, I suggest we can move them there so that everything will be in one complex and you can call everyone in one go. Diba? Rather than people moving around. No?
Yes, sir.
Just take note of that kasi nagpapatayo na naman kayo. Okay. What will be the effect of that reduction in MOE? Anong projects ang mawawala?
Yung pong, meron po kasi kaming provide na subsidy po para sa ating mga producers po to create children's programs. So with that po, medyo hindi po siya mapaprioritize for next year. Although meron naman pong a portion, pero we wanted po sana to add additional funding for that kasi medyo heavy po yung expenses ng mga programs natin. And also, yung pong mga manuals and rollout po sana na pinaplano namin for next year. Yun po yung medyo na set aside po.
How much subsidy are you giving the producers?
Depende po siya. Pero for this year, 2 million po kami per grantee po.
Per grantee?
Apo,
and then
apo.
they liquidate it?
Yes po.
Okay, and then where do you show the child-friendly program?
Opo, last year procure din po kami. Kailangan po siya i-procure para po ma-broadcast siya sa Knowledge Channel po.
Okay.
Yung pinaka-recent po
So
namin.
you bought it from Knowledge Channel. Kasi they're first of all, they're the leaders and the most well-known producers of child-friendly content. Diba? Parang wala nang iba. Alam ko sila yung pinaka-popular talaga. And that's, sila Rina Lopez do it out of passion and love for children. They don't do it for profit. Talagang advocacy nila yan No? So, do you tap them in producing those content?
Yes po. And also, nag-avail po din po sila ng ating grants. So, isa rin po ang Knowledge Channel doon. So, we provide assistance din po. And one of our grantees also last year is GMA 7. So yun
Okay.
pong kanilang program, pinalabas po nila sa GMA 7.
How do you, may ano ba yan? May request for proposal and then you evaluate?
Yes po. We announce call for proposals po.
Okay.
And then they will be submitting their proposals and then a selection committee po will be assessing po those programs hanggang sa umabot po tayo doon sa kanilang pitching po sa ating
Okay.
technical
For
working group.
2026, how much is that?
For 2026 po, under NEPSI TV, wala pa po tayo. 2024 po yung current cycle namin, which is 2 million also per grantee.
Wala 2026, wala?
Wala pa po. Wala pa
okay.
po. Apo.
Okay. Ano itong sa operations niyo of 49 million?
Dito po sa 49 million na...
The operations.
Apo. For this one, we have we have allotted one program for production subsidy, 2 million
Okay.
din po.
Yun.
Apa.
So one program lang?
Yes po.
Okay.
Dadagdagan po sana po.
Alright. Okay. My next question will be on your mandates. Diba in section 9 of the law creating NCCT, there's a minimum 15% of the daily total airtime for each broadcasting network. Ano ba ito? Is this being complied with?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Meron po kaming monitoring function and yung pong mga registered television networks po nagsasubmit sa amin monthly ng kanilang daily airtime po and may mga nakakamit po talaga nung ating 15%. At pinaka-highest nga po is the Knowledge Channel po.
Okay. Meron bang hindi nakakamit?
Meron pong konti po. Parang lower than 15% po.
Anong penalty? This
Actually,
is, dapat pinapenalize sila kasi this is in the law.
Opo. Yes po,
And that's the whole point of why we have NCCT, the regulatory function.
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Actually, wala po kaming regulatory function. What we
Don't
have
you regulate
po,
them?
Hindi
Ito?
po. Yan lang po siya. And then, pag po hindi nila na-meet, and nagkaroon na po ng discussion, what we can do po is to propose po or recommend po na ma-stop yung kanilang broadcast and yung kanilang license po. So, yun lang po yung...
That's a regulatory
yes po.
function.
That's po. Apo.
So meron ba kayong na-recommend na?
Wala pa po sa ngayon.
Ba't tayo yung mag-recommend? Diba?
Apo.
That's your,
Yes
that's why NCCT was created.
Apo.
Diba? So, sino-sino yung mga hindi nagko-comply?
We can provide you po with a list. Apo.
But sino, para malaman natin.
Sige po, wait.
Kasi para pagdating ng who regulates them, NTC yan eh. Diba? So pagdating ng NTC budget, we can flag them already. Just give me a few. Kasi that's the whole point of creating NCCT is to make sure that there is a pipeline for the content. Diba? Yan yung pipeline nyo eh. So, but if this is not being complied, then it defeats the purpose of creating NCCT. Sige, mamaya, hanapin mo muna yon.
Yes po.
And then under ARAL program, meron ring responsibility ang NCCT. Diba? Under RA 12028, the NCCT is mandated to allot a portion of the 15% of the daily total airtime of each network for supplemental tutoring video materials. So, next year yata, i-massive na yung rollout ng ARAL. So, I just want to flag you that there is such a provision in the ARAL law. So, in 15%, itirain a portion of that for tutoring programs. Kasi DepEd will be hiring close to 500,000 tutors eh. So, dapat masabayan natin yung tutoring program na yon. So, i-program nyo na yan for next year. Yeah. Alam niyo ba ito? Akala ko hindi mo alam.
Yes po, kasama po kami dun sa development ng
Kasama ka ba doon?
Thank you po.
Okay. Ano pa ba? Okay, ito is another issue on mandates. Yung content, alam naman natin lahat, alam ni Dr. Jeannie to, ang bata ngayon hindi na nanonood ng TV. Alam niyo naman yan. Every time gumababa ako sa Valenzuela sa mga constituents, ang bukang bibig nila, YouTube. Diba? YouTube ang bukang bibig nila. And I know you don't have any reach on YouTube. That's beyond your mandate. But I think I brought this up na long time ago. But don't we need to look at that angle in digitalization or digital angle? Because realistically, wala na nanonood ng TV. Mga bata, YouTube na talaga ang pinapanood nila. Even social media. So do you have any efforts in that production of child-friendly content, do you have any efforts of delivering it through the digital platforms?
Good afternoon, Senator.
We have to be realistic. This question
Yeah.
should be asked kasi
Yeah.
TV, I believe TV will be obsolete.
Opo nga eh. In reality talaga, Senator, children are growing online. Ang laki po talaga. And kahit 95% ng household have television sets, mas digital ng orientation ng mga kids. They prefer watching on TikTok, YouTube, and Netflix. And in fact, only 32% are watching television. And ang sabi nung marami dun sa mga research namin, kasi daw mas entertaining yung content sa social media, sa TikTok kaysa sa TV, mga ganyan. And dahil sa YouTube daw o sa ibang platforms, nanonood sila, no? Mas makikita rin daw yung napapanood sa TV dito sa mga platform na to. And so we're now in the process of, amending the agency, from the National Council for Children's TV to National Council for Children's Media to expand our reach. And hopefully,
That demands amendment.
Meron na po kaming i-final na amendment.
Yeah, you have to do it soon. Baka madamay kayo sa government optimization law. Kasi TV is really obsolete. No? So if you don't amend your charter to contain
More
the other forms of media, then NCCT will be obsolete. So dapat paspasan niyo yung amendment ng inyong charter. No? But you also have to think about this carefully, because we generate content, but can we mandate YouTube to show it? Can we mandate Facebook to show it? Mahirap yata yun. I don't think we can do that, no? Unless there's a legal way of doing it. So you have to think about that as well.
Yes.
No? We
Sa
can
urban
generate the
areas-
content, but how do we deliver it to our constituents?
Yeah, that's right. Sa mga urban areas, it's more of digital na rin ang orientation. But sa mga provinces, yung mga barrio, mga isla, it's more of TV pa din sa kanila. Konti pa yung Wi-Fi nila hindi masyadong accessible. But yes, we're considering yung i-expand yung reach namin.
Yeah, but it's a matter of time. Those areas will also have access. May Starlink na ngayon. And DepEd is really pushing very hard to deliver internet to our schools. No?
Yes.
So those schools will now have the capability of streaming content on a real-time basis. So you have to think of your future and NCCT, because ngayon pinag-uusapan na yung optimization bill. In fact, we're pushing that to streamline government. And if NCCT will not catch up with its mandate, it might become obsolete as well. So you have to think about that. For now, baka pwede pa. But I think the time is ticking against NCCT. Yeah. Can you use the mic?
Former Representative Christopher De Venecia, parang he filed the House bill already for the amendment of the NCCT to NCCM. We have the draft na of the amendment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And siguro we can ask support from Senate or from to support us, and the other government agencies.
Okay, but in the meantime, I think we added a new mandate to NCCT, yung aral nga. In the meantime, we'll roll that out. But we want to bring to the table and flag the department to think about the future of television, or the future of media, for that matter.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's it for me. So, there being no further questions, the budget of the National Council for Children's Television is now deemed submitted for the plenary's consideration, subject to the discussion and the submission of documents requested. Pakisubmit na lang yung mga hindi ko nagko-comply, ha?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Next will be Nas. Galing pa yata kayong Clark, no? ED Joy.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the Honorable Chair for visiting us and gracing our 5th founding anniversary. Since most of my colleagues here have mentioned about a brief introduction of their agency, so allow me to give a brief information of what NAS is. So in 2020, the Philippine Congress passed RA 11470, which formally established the National Academy of Sports. And this law has provided the legal framework for the Academy, ensuring that it receives the necessary support to carry out its programs and initiatives. And with regards to our vision and mission, the NAS envisions that it envisions itself as the premier institution that develops athletes with potentials and capable of excelling both in sports and academics. By forming well-rounded individuals, NAS aims to produce competitive athletes who can compete on the world stage and at the same time be college-ready. NAS' mission is to provide world-class training facilities, education and development programs to student athletes, allowing them to reach their highest potential. And the mission also emphasizes the importance of creating a sustainable sports culture in the Philippines by exploring various career paths in sports. So to start with our budget historical performance, Mr. Chair, the overall spending trend, we have seen a steady increase in both obligation and disbursement rates from 2022 to 2025. However, the agency has a 55.187 million decrease from 2025 GAA to the 2026 NEP, reflecting the agency's absorptive capacity. Hold on, sorry. From the previous years. For the calendar year 2022, low current obligation rate of 20%, but a very high disbursement rate of 94%, showing efficient use of obligated funds. In 2023, we have a continued high disbursement rate of 99% for current funds, and a significant jump in both obligation and disbursement for continuing funds, indicating better utilization of carryover appropriations. For year 2024, Mr. Chair, this marked improvement with a current obligation rate of 38% and a near perfect talaga, Mr. Chair, rate, sorry, kasi nahahappy lang ako sa mga aming improvements, 99%. Continuing funds also depicted performance with a 99% obligation rate and an 80% disbursement rate. For this year, as of June 30, Mr. Chair, we have a strong start with a 46% current obligation rate, although the disbursement rate is currently at 73%. We are actively working to disburse the remaining funds for the year, since most of our activities has been reflected in the last quarter. So procurements for the period of July to September are not yet reflected, such as meals, medicine, and other land improvement outlay. So our financial performance has consistently improved, with obligations and disbursements becoming more efficient each year, and this reflects our commitment to prudent and timely spending. As I would like the committee to know that we only started our face-to-face operation last year, kaya po medyo nag-i-improve talaga. It really shows a lot of improvement in our disbursement and obligation funds. As compared to how we started during the pandemic, talagang napakakawawa po yung aming BUR na nasa 20% lang po. Kaya kanina medyo maganda yung aking description. So, kidding aside, Mr. Chair, next slide, please. So these are our major deliverables and outcome indicators. So all of our student athletes, 226, have met the learning standards for school year 2024 to 2025. and 188 out of 226 student athletes pursued in NAS in the following school year. Although 38 students transferred to other schools, and majority of these SAs, dahil nga magaling ang aming mga estudyante, yan, no? Are recruited by UAAP schools. So the percentage of our student athletes qualifying international or national competitions, it's really close to 100% kasi most of them are qualified for both national and international sports competitions. And just to give you the breakdown, so 47 of our athletes were qualified for international sports competition, and 79% for national events and for all active sports of NAS. Now, for our output indicator, the number of programs implemented are completed. The following programs are curriculum development. Output are as follows. So we were able to do our curriculum shaping paper, curriculum framework, and curriculum guides, and the NAS admissions program known as the NASAN SAS, our student support program, which includes nutrition support, the residences, health and medical services, capacity building programs for athletic well-being and counseling support. And lastly, our sports development program with its framework has been completed. And the number of students trained, 226 student athletes have been admitted through the NASAN SAS program and have been trained for school year 2024 to 2025. The number of campus facilities certified to international standards, this is yet to be, recalibrated, Mr. Chair, kasi nga yung dalawang international certifying agencies, namely the World Aquatics, or previously known as the FINA, and the World Athletics, previously known as the IAAF, only competitions facilities are allowed to be certified for international standards. Thus, our training facilities are not included. Hence, the non-attainment of this output indicator, kaya lagi pong zero yan, was requested for the calibration to be more responsive on the actual operations of NAS. So as for the financial performance, as for the ongoing procurement process amounting a total of 21 million is underway, namely for other land improvement outlay. With these deliverables, Mr. Chair, NAS financial performance would reach at 70% as of mid of September. By the end of September, NAS is targeting 85% of its obligation. However, the financial requirement for the NEP target of 250 student athletes requires the amount of 206,860,000. Likewise, we are targeting a 300 student athletes as we are about to open the senior high school program. Hence, the need for an increase in budget. This slide would show our budget requirements for Tier 1 and Tier 2. Masyadong colorful ang aming presentation. Our current NEP really cannot cover our Tier 1 targets for our scholarship expenses such as student athletes' meals, accommodation and housing rentals, sports competition, both local and international among others. And also, we have 27 million other operational costs that is not included in the NEP level, such as the capacity building programs for personnel and student athletes, welfare programs, and other extra and curricular activities of our student athletes, information campaigns, among others. So, for our 2026 wish list, Mr. Chair, one, we have the athletes' uniform and training, gears, and paraphernalia amounting to 21 million. It aims to ensure that our student athletes can represent the academy, syempre identity natin yan, and fostering a strong sense of team identity and unity. So this prioritizes athlete safety also by providing them the gears. If I may, Mr. Chair, we have 8 focus sports, and all of these focus sports would have their own gears. So hindi po ito lahat ay isang uniforme. and other sports would also require very expensive kind of gear, no? Because we compete internationally. So they have international preference din. So yung mga gears ng judo, minimeasure din yan sa lahat. So that's why our gears are very expensive. Next would be our school uniform. Of course, this will provide athletes the proper attire to perform their best while representing NAS with pride. Next would be, of course, international competitions. Ito talaga ang mandato, no? To produce world-class athletes, no? So we are really providing them as much international exposures and participation on the world stage. Later on, no, I'll be showing you some highlights of our student athletes, and of course participating in national competition. Next would be our learning and school supplies for NAS student athletes amounting to 60 M to provide our student athletes with the essential learning and school supplies that will support their academic performance throughout the school year. Next would be sports nutrition meals to provide the right quality and quantity of sports nutrition meals for our students, along with deliver relevant and responsive food services that address the unique nutritional needs of our student athletes. Since we are, again, our table tennis students will have a different nutritional plans compared to our athletics. So ganun po ka-specific. Yung kinakain po nila ay different from the proportion. Let's say if I eat this much, yung proportion ni Yusek Fatima is different because she's into another sport. So that's how we do our nutritional plan, no? Very specific to the sporting needs of our athletes. And the macronutritional supplementation for our students, syempre, kailangan nila ng vitamins. They need supplements to support their physical demands. And next would be the rentals, Mr. Chair. The rentals, because right now we don't have yet our dormitory, so we are renting at the Athletes Village and the residences located at the New Clark City. So this demands from our budget 57.7 M. So actually the things that I've mentioned are non-negotiable, Mr. Chair. And these non-negotiable items in our wish list amounted to 293,223,000. Ang NEP lang po namin ay 118. And other wish lists, Mr. Chair, of course, the hiring of additional contract of service. These are really very critical to the day-to-day operation since our academy is operating 24/7. Next, procurement of general services. These are the security and maintenance, okay? Most especially now that we are adding buildings, so mas kailangan po namin ng mas secure, of course, ang facilities ng academy. Next would be our ISSP implementation to provide a structured framework for the development and integration and optimization of our ICT resources in our school to support its academic, administrative, and athletic goals based on the reviewed and assessed structure and staffing pattern per division and its respective office mandate and functions. Next is our operations and maintenance for Phase 1 to ensure the continuous safety and efficient operation of NAS, providing a well-maintained facility for our student athletes and NAS personnel. Also, the improvement of our buildings and infra to enhance the functionality and safety and quality of our NAS campus by upgrading also our sports facilities and general building to meet the evolving needs of our students and institutional operations. Insurance, Mr. Chair. Kailangan po namin yan, no? Most especially our students. And I'm talking about infra, sorry. I'm talking about infra, such as our buildings, vehicles, and equipment to protect our valuable public assets. One of our additional wish lists would be an artificial turf for our open assembly area to ensure that we have an adequate training spaces for our core sports and to provide training area that aligns with international standards. Modules and textbooks to ensure that all our students and teachers are provided with the necessary modules and textbooks to support effective teaching and learning throughout the academic year. We also wanted a polyurethane track with sand pits for athletic training in our campus to ensure also adequate training spaces and providing training area that aligns with international standards. Kasi po sometimes and more often, even if we have access to the world-class facilities in the New Clark City like the stadium and the aquatics, pag meron silang international competitions, we won't be able to use their facility. That's why meron tayong alternative sana na facility inside the campus. Otherwise, this will also entail costs for our rentals outside the campus para lang may magamit po yung mga atleta namin. Smart and interactive digital whiteboard to provide our classrooms with smart and interactive whiteboards to support effective teaching and learning. So the integration of digital technology through smart boards will enable interactive and visually enriched instruction, while the addition of quality furniture will ensure that students and teachers are equipped with a comfortable and supportive learning environment. Additionally, we also need anthropometric assessment equipment to assess the nutritional status of our students using high-end anthropometric equipment and will be used for the advancement of our sports nutrition research in the country. Also, procurement of transport vehicle. We need an additional, a minibus or coaster, which will be a mode of transportation for our delegation of student athletes and personnel for competitions and training camps that requires 25 participants or less. And lastly, a lift for inside the campus to ensure that the NAS assets are preserved and handled carefully. Also, IEC materials, which will be used in a wide range of outreach activities such as conferences, stakeholder meetings, external visits, and the like. So these are our wish lists, Mr. Chair, for 2026. I'd like everyone to pay attention also. This is the breakdown of our athletes. We have a total of 237 student athletes coming from these different focus sports from grade 7 to 11. And this is the distribution of our student athletes. Lahat po ay represented sa lahat ng clusters ng ating bansa. No? So we have 78 coming from Northern Luzon, 32 from NCR, 42 from South Luzon, 30 from Visayas, and 43 from Mindanao. So everything is the major clusters po covered. No? So lahat po merong galing talaga from Mindanao at saka North Luzon. So these are the distribution of our student athletes per regional cluster. So allow me to give a quick run-through of our achievements as of June 30 of 2025. Ito yung aming mga national pride, no? So these are our athletes also who have given excelled, no, even during the palarong pambansa. Ito yung mga athletes natin who did or have given a swimming records during the palarong pambansa. No. Next slide. And our judo was able to participate in the Southeast Asia Judo Championship. And we have one student under 63 kilograms who garnered the gold medal. And our 73 kilograms for boys earned the bronze medal. So sa gymnastics naman, ito ay gusto ko to i-share sa inyo. Ito mga bata po, Mr. Chair, first time nila to be exposed in international competition na in their life, first time to be exposed in international competition. They've given their best and naging gold medal po sila dyan sa competition na yan. No? So we are so proud of them. Teka, saan nga ba to? Bangkok. In Bangkok, Mr. Chair. And of course, our table tennis, yung ating mga student athletes, Mr. Chair, are already playing and doing a world ranking. World ranking na po itong ating mga students sa NAS. Kaya po, paminsan, yung ating budget, because of course, we cannot stop them to rank in the world. So we have to accommodate their competitions as they move up, no? Kasi nga nagra-ranking sila in the world. So ito po yung resulta nung sa Dubai, and we set a history in sports. Sila pong tatlo, sila po ay podium finishers during that time. So only from NAS na nag-champion ang Philippines under 13 category. All the podium tayo po ang nagwagi dyan. Okay? So next slide please. Sa US Open naman, nag-gold tayo sa doubles, and these are only grade 7 and 8, Mr. Chair. No? So very talented ang mga na-admit po sa National Academy of Sports. So therefore, our nascent SAS program has given the best efforts, and we're able to admit the best athletes. Yes, I think this is, those are the two. And then ito naman din, during this competition, Mr. Chair, we only have a 20 athlete delegation as compared to other countries who have 300 plus delegation. And yet the National Academy of Sports student athletes, sila po yung nag-earn ng the most number of gold medals in this competition. And this is ito na yung pinaka-highlight talaga, Mr. Chair. No? We are really true to our mandate. Our student athletes will be competing in Bahrain for the Asian Youth Games. These are our 3 athletes just one step closer to Olympics. So pag okay po ang performance nila dito, they will be playing for the Youth Olympic Games next year in Senegal. So yun po talaga yung dream, no? Yan talaga yung aming mandato, that our students will not only be competing in the international stage, but on the world and in the Olympic level. So ito na po yung tatlo, very talented individuals that I hope the government will really support their participation in this competition. So not only our athletes are good in sports performance, we also have students, next slide please, who represented in the Hong Kong International Math Olympiad. Even during the pandemic, he was the only one, I think, as far as I remember, siya lang yung nag-compete during the pandemic, and nag-medal siya in all of those times that he participated, and up to now, he is still consistently participating in this Math Olympiad. And Alexander is a swimmer. Yan. Ito din, syempre, proud to say that our student athletes are academic achievers. Kaya yung hashtag at saka yung tagline namin na basta taga-NAS mahusay, ay talaga naman mahusay sila, because even magaling sila sa sports, their placement in academics are with honors, with high honors, and with highest honors. I'm really so proud of our student athletes achieving these kinds of placement in academic excellence. Just to give you an information, right now, we are located in New Clark City, Capas Tarlac, kung saan yung 2019 SEA Games. So phase 1 is our academic and administrative building plus our multipurpose gym. And ngayon, ongoing ang aming phase 2. This houses the one on the left, that is the sports science and sports medicine building. The one sa baba, this is our open multipurpose gym and gymnastics hall. So naka-extend yung gymnastics halls po sa likod niyan. So ongoing po yan. The target is 2025. I don't want to mention na lang the month because hopefully, Mr. Chair, matatapos siya ng 2025. That is the commitment actually. So we're really banking on the completion of this phase 2 project this year. So I think that's all. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll go to slide 20. I think the challenge of NAS, slide 20 natin, Carla, is really the utilization of funds here. No? Obligation rate is, for 2024 to, 28%, disbursement rate 28%. So there's no wonder why DBM always slashes the budget because of the utilization rate. So, and we've been flagging the agency about this for quite some time already. But I understand that NAS is still in its nascent stage, and when I went there, you're still building a lot of your facilities. Marami pa rin birth pains. But what's the plan of addressing this underutilization of funds?
Actually, Mr. Chair, as I reported a while ago, nag-i-improve naman yung utilization rate namin since most of the activities, programs are on the last quarter of the school year. So lahat po ngayon ay yung ma-obligate naman po siya towards the end of this year, Mr. Chair. So that would resulted to a projected 75% by end of September. So, yun po.
So a lot of this, you're attributing this to capital outlay.
Yeah. Actually, we have a challenge because yung mga international competitions keep on changing, Mr. Chair. No? Sometimes meron kaming makukuhang schedule in the third quarter, and yet it will be moved to the last quarter. So ganun po yung challenges namin. So most of the activities nga and even the competitions are moved towards the fourth quarter.
So what you're saying is yung MOE nyo, which is tied towards your competition, is also tied to your schedules. Kaya hindi nagagastos kaagad. Ganun ba yun? Okay,
even the procurement schedules then, yung procurement processes then, Mr. Chair, napupunta lahat din sa last quarter.
Yung yung sports integrated secondary program, which is the kagaya kanina ng High School for the Arts, this is the main program. Yun yung mababang utilization so ibig sabihin yung program itself mababa yung utilization.
Actually, nandun nakalodge yung mga competitions, Mr. Chair.
So magkasama yon, yung high school program and the competition magkasama?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Kasi simultaneous po yan yung calendar namin at the same time they are studying, at the same time their schedules of competition din po.
Okay. Well, I'll put that on the table kasi lalabas to all the time. So you have to find a way to improve your obligation in disbursement. Lalo na obligation.
Yes.
Kasi obligation, there's no reason for obligation to go down because
Yeah.
naintindihan ko pa yung disbursement. Infrastructure, maybe scheduling, but in obligation, dapat ma-obligate ka agad ahead of time. But in this case kasi, ang obligation niya mababa eh. 28% yung obligation niya. Kaya no surprise, binawasan ng DBM ng 34%. It was reduced by 34%.
Yeah, kasi yung 2024, Mr. Chair, I believe, because doon pa lang kami lumipat talaga sa campus in 2024. So yung the past years, we are still in Pasig, no? Yung kumbaga yung usage ng 2024, we're still using parang merong na apektuhan pa yung aming 2023 budget utilization. So it reflected sa 2024 namin.
Okay. Again, just I'm putting this. I'm putting the agency. I'm giving this to the agency to improve on, and kasi kung hindi natin ma-improve, talagang laging makakat, and then pag laging cut, of course, you will come here and ask for additional, no?
Yeah.
Which is not supposed to be.
Yeah.
No? The agency on its own should already justify their budget to DBM. No? Yeah. Kasi parang nagiging nagiging pangtakip eh, no? Kung hindi na But we're looking at the same data, so we also need to justify why we need to add more funds. That's one. The other one is marami na tayong bagong sports high school in Baguio, Bataan, Baybay. And we need, andito si Fatima, we need the expansion policy or the policy on satellite campuses. Nauna na yung satellite campuses kaysa sa policy. Dapat mauna yung policy. No, but we cannot wait. We cannot tell the congressman to wait. These are local bills. In fact, in sa Baybay, nakita ko yung picture, may facility na. No, in Bataan, may facility na rin sila. Sa Baguio, wala pa. Pero yung sa Bataan, tsaka sa Baybay, meron. So, kailan ba lalabas yung policy, Edie Joy?
Mr. Chair, actually ongoing naman yung aming yung pag-craft ng aming policy dito. So the NAS System Strategic Expansion and Operation Committee through the NAS TWG, we have done a series of consultative activities naman, Mr. Chair, and workshops. In fact, next week we'll be holding a multisectoral session, a meeting with them, consultative meeting with them. Actually, meron na draft.
But kailan lalabas? Yun ang
yun,
actually,
kasi,
ay pinag-uusapan ko lang si Senator Pimentel dyan eh. No, but he pointed that out. But he allowed us to pursue the law with a caveat nga na lalabas yung policy. But when give me a timetable.
We are targeting it by first quarter of next year.
Tagal.
Hopefully, Mr. Chair, ganito kasi medyo, we are consulting naman, stakeholders. We are involving even the representatives from the existing sports academies para talaga merong contribution doon sa aming gustong mailatag. Kasi nga, actually may mga sports academies, Mr. Chair, na nauna pa sa NAS, no? So,
yeah, correct.
kaya talaga yung NAS naman was created 2020. Naman the historical, yung history ng NAS na we really started from ground zero pa. So ngayon, actually, meron namang mga initial outputs, and these are the draft of policies and guidelines. So we have 2 steps na lang po, Mr. Chair. Right now, like next week, we'll be meeting with the stakeholders, meeting with the committee, and then we'll be having our write-up and finalization of the drafting of these policies. And this has to be vetted and approved by the Board of Trustees. So, ito po yung schedules. These are the 2 remaining schedules due for the NAS system policy of the satellite campuses branches.
Release that within the year, at least December. Kasi tagal na ito. Actually, last December pa namin pinapalap to.
Yes.
I remember, diba, Kat,
Yes.
last budget
Yes.
hearing, ito yung topic namin. It's almost 1 year na.
Yeah.
Can we just release it December? Kasi I'm sure marami na namang lalapit dito for legislative sports high schools. And I don't want the chairman of the Basic Education Committee to have the same predicament.
Yeah. Best efforts, Mr. Chair. We'll,
Hindi best efforts, gawin na natin.
Yeah. Okay, sige.
Gawin na natin.
Kailangan
Ito na si
namin ng
Fatima eh.
tulong. Okay.
1
Yes,
year na
okay,
kasi,
okay.
ED Joy. It's 1
Okay.
year na eh.
Yes,
no?
yes,
So if we
yes.
don't put a hard stop,
Yeah.
paulit-ulit lang to eh.
Okay.
Labas na natin December para tapos na tayo dyan.
Yusek, tulungan mo ako dito. Okay, thank you.
Yusek, can we get that commitment? Kasi DepEd ang chairman eh. No? Yeah, you can.
Table po namin dun sa next quarterly meeting, Mr. Chair, para ma-force yung NAS na mag-submit po ng draft man lang.
Thank you. Kasi we have three legislative national sports high legislative sports high school, of which dalawa may facility na eh. Nakita ko yung picture, Bataan and Baybay. No? Pero in the law naman susunod sila sa NAS eh. No? Ilabas nyo lang yung policy. No? Kasi baka they're building this, they're hiring people, tapos it's not in line with NAS, we'll have more problems in the future.
Will do, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. And then I saw that we don't have any capital outlay for 2026 in the National Expenditure Program.
Yeah. Our capital outlay actually, Mr. Chair, is with BCDA po.
Okay. So your construction for your capital outlay for 2026 is lodged under BCDA.
Yes.
Sige.
Even our infra, all our infra are with BCDA.
Okay. And do you have any idea how much is that in BCDA? Ano pa ba yung mga gagawin? Kaya pala mga request nyo kanina puro mga MOE and PS, no?
Oo.
Ano pa ba yung mga susunod na gagawin?
For sa BCDA, we still have phase 3, Mr. Chair. This is the dormitories sa campus and a senior high school building. Yun. So those are the two, and I think an auditorium. So these are 3 projects still in the will be still under the BCDA po sa capital outlay.
Okay, so tatlong the dormitory,
the senior high school
building,
and the auditorium.
Okay. Just submit to us yung mga facilities and costs because BCDA will also come here request for their subsidy, so we'll look for that in their project request.
Yeah.
But submit to us yung mga capital outlay nyo na remaining. No?
Yes,
Remaining.
Mr. Chair. We'll do that, Mr. Chair.
So lastly, yung inyong wish list is 293, tama
Now,
ba?
293 for non-nego, but a total of 503.
503.
503, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
And these are all in fulfillment, of course, Mr. Chair, dahil nga lahat ng aming mga students are scholars, so these are really part of their scholarship.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the briefing earlier. Just submit to us a official letter of your wish list, yung mga non-negotiable, negotiable, in order of priority rin. So we can put it part of our, yung, gumagawa kami kasi ng yung parang total wish list ng lahat. No? And then we will prioritize what to add.
Okay, this is noted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, ED Joy. There being no further questions, the budget of the National Academy of Sports is now deemed submitted for plenary's consideration, subject to the discussion and submission of documents requested. All right. And last but not the least, okay, Dr. Jeannie, the TEC, the youngest among the... the youngest, diba?
Sir, pag youngest daw, maraming budget.
The youngest among
Maraming
the attached
support.
agencies.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and colleagues. Would like to proceed to our presentation. If you could go to the slide that shows accomplishment? Okay. In this presentation, Mr. Chair and colleagues, we are presenting our accomplishments, anticipation for 2025 for the rest of our budget, and requests and plans for 2026 onwards. Go ahead, please. We are celebrating, Mr. Chair, a year of commitment to strengthening Philippine teacher education, given that the structure of the new secretariat was released in 2024, and the full operationalization started with the appointment of the Executive Director 5. Go ahead, please. Our key accomplishments, Mr. Chair, go ahead. First is that we are currently almost to the tail end of the reframing of the pre-service teacher education curriculum. We are releasing the curriculum standards by Q4 of 2025. This was a delay, Your Honor, from the presentation we did in your committee in December of 2024, precisely because of the changes in the administration and leadership of the Commission on Higher Education. We are 50%. We have profiled 50% profiling of our teacher education institutions, and we did profiling of educators nationwide. We have redesignated our centers of excellence. Their redesignation is ending in November of 2025, and we have the new policy for the identification and designation of centers of excellence for release in Q4. We've lobbied for the alignment of licensure examination for teachers with the current curriculum, which will begin the new and updated test by the PRC is to be given this Sunday, sir, in the LET for 2025. The teacher education roadmap, which is a primary requirement of the law, is for release in Q4 of 2025. We are just awaiting the approval of the council in its Q3 meeting. We will launch it in October, sir, pala. We have strengthened the secretariat with 48 plantilla items now released, and we are on the process of finalizing our hiring. But we are 76 strong secretariat with a contract of service supporting the executive director. The research for teacher education, we have 13 currently on its final stages, and we're to start with 12 more for 2025-2026. Expansion of our reach through partnership and collaboration and other support for bills. Go ahead, please. In a snapshot, this is the reframed pre-service teacher education curriculum. This is the framework, Your Honor, but would like to focus on the next slide. Next slide, please. These are the features of the pre-service teacher education curriculum. Longer practicum. Foundational needs like literacy and numeracy are now part of the new curriculum. We've harmonized with the professional standards to address the newly signed career progression law. We've highlighted the TPCK and the science of learning as major requirement of the 21st century skills. This includes the use of AI, technology assisted pedagogical support. We now have concentrations for elementary education. This means specialization or majorship for our elementary. The number of units is reduced to now range from 117 to 130. We're happy to report that without the law, we are now pushing for a shorter number of years for teacher education. Although at the minimum, it's still 3 years, but without the general education subjects shortened or fewer offerings from the Commission on Higher Education, it will remain to be 4 years. But the minimum requirements for teacher education, meaning professional education plus specialization, are now 3 years. Next slide, please. Briefly, would like to respond to the frequently asked questions. The foundational skills are found in literacy, and the literacy skills are under the professional ed courses, meaning all of the future teachers or our pre-service teachers will now take
theory and teaching of literacy education. We've added also literacy education in bachelor and secondary education majors in English and in Filipino. Numerous skills are now embedded in the elementary, early childhood, and the BS Ed major in mathematics programs. AI and other new technologies are integrated across courses and programs. These are in professional education courses so that all of our teachers, future teachers, will take them. In technology enhanced assessment tools and emerging trends, and technology in inclusive education. For climate change, which is a common question in both committee hearings in both houses, are topics in professional education courses, particularly designing for sustainable classrooms. Next slide, please. We're operating on our profiling. Next slide. We've profiled our teacher educators to better understand where they are currently and what support they will be needing. So we have an evidence-based support program with request funding. We've also profiled licensed professional teachers who are employed but not in formal classroom teaching roles. This is critical. This data is critical for us, Your Honor, because the curriculum that we're developing we want to be targeting the needs of our teachers, not only those who are in the formal classrooms, but in the periphery of education in general. Next slide, please. Showing the dashboard in our website now. If you go to our website, you can now look into region, the type of institution, institutions that are offering early childhood or BE Ed as a program. Our website can now show that. However, our limitation is that we still do not have the complete profile of the 1,570 TEI. So if you click on the program and it doesn't show any institution that you know, it's because we don't have their complete profile yet. But the target is we complete the profiling up to Q1 of 2026. We're funding this, Your Honor, through our research initiatives. Go ahead, please. This is a sample data set that you can get from our website, the distribution of teacher education programs across the country. Next slide, please. Some important notes in distribution, Your Honor, is that the highest number of TEIs are found in Region 4A, Region 3, and NCR. So that's where we will innovate our delivery because of too big supply in those areas. Next slide, please. Our top specialization among licensed teachers are the following: English, elementary ed. Surprisingly, we have a good supply of elementary ed, and yet more demand from the Department of Education. We have better supply for science. Sorry, I'm wrong. These are the specialization among licensed teachers who are not teaching. Sorry. So we have the most number of respondents who are not teaching but licensed are English majors. Next slide, please. We can skip the rest. Go ahead, please. We're very happy with this update, Your Honor, that we were able to support the work on aligning our licensure examination starting again this Sunday. Next slide, please. Next slide. These are our support to amendments. Our secretariat, we now have the 5 directors with us. We're awaiting for one more director to complete the number of directors supporting the secretariat. Next slide, please. This is our work on the roadmap. Go ahead, please. And a snapshot, this is how the Teacher Education Roadmap 2035 would look like. We have milestones, 3 milestones. The first one is on 2027, by which Congress can hold us accountable on what we will claim to be, what we will deliver. The next milestone is in 2030 up to 2035. We have 4 pillars now in the roadmap. Pillar 1 is on elevating and promoting the teaching profession. Pillar 2, strengthening educator preparation. Pillar 3 is investment in in-service development, career progression and recognition. And Pillar 4 is broadening the impact of teacher education. We are ready to submit this to the Council, Your Honor, for release sometime in October. Next slide, please. Can we now jump to... Right, sige. Okay, this is the research, Your Honor, that we're doing with about 30 of the teacher education institutions who are our partners, but we have 2 main partners as our managing partner, meaning they receive the budget and then they take care of all of our other partners. So currently we are finishing Right 1, which is under PNU, 12 projects, and we're starting with Right 2, which is under UST, 18 projects. Next slide, please. This is the bulk of the fund that we have yet to release in 2025. Our expected outputs from the research work will support work on profiling, the curriculum and programs, structure and support, and professional development. Go ahead, please. This is the same slide that indicates further unpacking of where the researches will come from. Go ahead. We can now proceed to our NEP. Okay. Currently, Your Honor, we are given 207 million plus as part of our the NEP. The PS here would like to note that the PS noted from DBM is only for our 4 personnel because we just received our UWACs and our Prexi, Your Honor. So we need to submit an updated list once within quarter 4. That's the order para sa amin. Para madagdagan po ito for our all plantilla items. Our MOOE is 201 million, but 50 million will be for mandatory expenses. We're now down to 150 million only for program implementation. This is a far cry from our request, Your Honor, and there were several reasons for this. I think there was a confusion because we submitted our budget through DepEd, but we also submitted another round of submission was done through DBM. So DBM took into consideration the request through them, but wasn't able to take into consideration the request through DepEd because we submitted our budget through DepEd being not yet an attached agency. So this is the only budget that we received in the NEP, with an 880,000 as capital outlay. Next slide, please. Our wish list, Your Honor, number 1 is to support the funding of the Teacher Education Scholarship Program. We've initially requested for about 500 warm bodies as scholars, but in this, about 800, if I'm not mistaken. Tama ba ako? But now, we only have 720 scholars. We're requesting for 720 scholars for 3 priority programs: early childhood, values education, special needs and inclusive education. For 720 scholars, this is for a yearly basis, Your Honor, for both SUC and private TEI. Next slide, please. Our wish list 2 is support for funding to support our centers of excellence. The policy again will be released in quarter 4 of 2025. We need about 200 million to support the work that they will be doing pegged at 4 million each with the projected 50 centers of excellence across. Liliit po ito pag dumami pa sa 50 ang papasa sa polisiya na ilalabas namin. Next wish list, Your Honor, is the funding of the fully operationalize the Teacher Education Excellence Center. This is a center that would be housing innovations, work on innovations that are triggered in the context. Hence, we have 5 areas right now across the Philippines that we're targeting to start the work on the Teacher Education Excellence Center. About 50 million, Your Honor. So total of 350 thereabouts of wish list to add to our current 203 million as NEP, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Dr. Jeannie. I read in the briefer that you requested 1.1 billion.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then DBM only gave 207.
Yes, sir. I think that was part of the confusion within the budget that we are requesting. The 1 billion, Your Honor, is because we requested for about 500 million for scholarship.
Okay.
That's the
I was
that's the
going to
bulk.
ask nga, because your wish list is only 350.
Yes, sir.
Plus the 200, so meron pang 500 balance. What's the 500?
Hindi, sir. Pinaliit na lang namin ang request namin. It's the 500 million request for scholarship
Okay.
would be double the number that we're requesting
okay.
now.
Okay.
But due to it not being in the NEP, we're being conservative in our wish list, Your Honor.
The scholarship program is to attract the best and the brightest from senior high school.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And that's a core feature of the TEC law. The
Yes,
new
Your
TEC
Honor.
law is to get the best and the brightest and encourage them to work in DepEd after.
Yes, Your Honor.
And but right now with your current budget, with the one given by the DBM, you only have 30 million, tama ba?
Wala po, sir. We
Wala?
won't be able to give scholarship with the current fund. The fund there will be in other incentives that we will be setting up. That includes TEC awards and other non-financial grants like attendance to conferences for our teacher educators, but nothing for our scholarship, Your Honor,
okay.
for the current NEP.
And then you recommend 103 million.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
for 750 scholars.
Okay.
For the 3 priority programs.
Just
sir.
describe to us in brief, how do you plan to attract the scholars?
Okay, sir, we've started working on our guidance support for our students for the senior high school. We're really looking for them, Your Honor. Part of the guidance program that we've set up with the Department of Education is to walk them through the teacher education program per division. So we're choosing division to partner with so that we can engage parents, communities to support the students taking the program. Marami kasi tayong division, Your Honor, na priority naman nila ang teacher education. Not because they like it, but because it's the available concentration in the area. Would like to capitalize on that, Your Honor, by ensuring that those who would be getting into the teaching profession, despite it not as the primary choice, would be that they'll grow to love the profession by being in that program, by us supporting them further. Anyway, yun naman na talaga ang choice nila, so might as well we support them. But we're also looking at one angle, Your Honor. We're hoping that we could target the scholarships from areas where teachers are really badly needed in the 3 priority programs: values education, early childhood, and the special needs and inclusive education, sir. So other than the fact that it's a choice of our student, we're also looking at that need so that we have the whole school approach and the wider community to support our students choose the teaching profession, Your Honor. But to attract them also, sir, to take the degree is because our scholarship is, there's just too much that we are giving in the scholarship that includes book allowance, dormitory allowance, meal allowance, which are all in the law. So that will trigger that kind of support that they will really get to the profession. And they are, the best and the brightest, and those who have the heart to really pursue the teaching profession, Your Honor.
Tama ba? One scholar will receive 143,000?
In the private TEI.
In the private TEIs. So if they go to private TEIs, 143.
Yes, sir.
Sa public,
About 75,000.
75,000.
Pero nandun na po lahat ng allowances, books, pamasahe, dormitory, sir.
So the first selection criteria is if they choose based on their guidance assessment, if they want to be a teacher, sila yung mapipili.
Yes, sir. And then they will have to undergo assessment package that includes a test, which we are currently developing, and then interview with the TEI.
So not necessarily, let's say, the valedictorian of that school, the top 10 of that school, not necessarily.
Adrian, meron doon? Not necessarily, Your Honor.
So
They have
talaga
to
dapat
take...
hilig nila.
Yes, sir.
Oo.
Yes, sir.
And then after hilig nila, they will be tested for aptitude.
Opo. Yes,
I would
sir.
assume.
That's correct. That's correct.
Oo. Okay. Bakit ganun? I would assume ko kasi pag valedictorian ko automatic, i-recruit ka na ng TEC and to become a teacher. That's my, this is my instinct ka.
Sir, the data says the valedictorians do not choose becoming a teacher, sir. They go to the other specializations like the sciences, Your Honor. So we're hoping that if you're a valedictorian, then you can pass all of the battery of assessment that we will set up. But the priority would be that aptitude into teaching, sir.
So the first, I guess the best case would be you want to be a teacher and you're a valedictorian.
Yes, sir.
That's the best case, diba?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And then itong 200 million for the COEs, what exactly are we, if you said we will be giving them 4 million, no?
Each, sir.
And what's the accountability of that 4 million?
Sir, that will be on a proposal-driven support as centers of excellence. The requirement of the law is that they will be supporting the other TEIs around their area, particularly in becoming a center of excellence also. So those are programmable, actionable items that will support the other TEIs in the area. So it's not to be given to them internally or not to be used as the TEI, but in support of other TEI, a center of excellence. Specifically, sir, if they are the only center of excellence in the area, which we hope that it will happen in this round of validation because of the new policy that we will be implementing.
The Center of Excellence will also help other TEIs.
Yes, sir.
Yun ang kanilang assignment.
Yes, sir.
And what is the measure whether they are achieving what they're supposed to achieve? Kung ano ba yung measure that 4 million is being spent wisely to achieve that goal?
Sir, tatlo po ang measures namin. Una po is that madagdagan ang mga high potential centers of excellence sa area nila. That's one. Second, sir, yung curriculum implementation natin na bagong-bago. Kasi yung first cohort natin ng centers of excellence that TEC will designate, bagong-bago po yung curriculum by the time that they are designated. And because they are designated, the review is after 3 years. Talagang yung curriculum, yung implementation ng bagong curriculum, magiging malaking trabaho ng Centers of Excellence. So the indicator is that they're able to support one another and that there are less, upon our monitoring, there are less concerns within the area because they can support the other TEIs, big or small, basta hindi COE. So that's the second indicator. The third indicator, Your Honor, is the support to the Department of Education. Ano ang kaya nilang ibigay sa Department of Education in varied concerns. Although a little bit complicated ito, sir, kasi whenever DepEd requests for help, sometimes it's paid, it's funded. So we're looking at the not funded support that they give to the Department of Education. So example, sir, is if they are a hub for training the teachers to support NEAP in DepEd, if they're a hub for assessment that CHED will establish in terms of regulatory functions across the areas in the area. So tatlo yon, sir, na indicators na tinitingnan namin. There are other indicators that might be provided for or triggered by their proposal. If their proposal, sir, kasi is development, research and development, will add additional indicators of success.
How about in-service? Is the TEC also working on some in-service programs?
Sir, we're trying to come up with a counterpart proposal for scholarship. So, halimbawa, sir, yung values education, yung tatlo po na yon, wala tayong supply nun kasi hindi makapag-set up ang mga TEIs ng program para doon. Either the primary reason is wala silang expertise. CHED requires at least 5 faculty with master's degree on the program before they can set up. So we're developing with EDCOM another proposal that will naman start the the support, the professional development support, particularly higher degree programs for TEIs to set up values education, special needs and inclusive ed, and early childhood education, sir. So that's where we are currently, but that's not part of this wish list yet, Your Honor. If you would allow us, we can add to our wish list, Your Honor.
NAYAP is under TEC?
No, no, sir. It's still under DepEd. Our role over NAYAP is that we are quality assurance of NAYAP in terms of how they do the professional development in terms of needs of our teachers in respect to career progression, sir.
Okay, okay. Well, for me, in service is equally as important, although challenging kasi nasa service na sila. But that's the, kumbaga, that's existing now eh. That's the now. So, do you have any plans ba of addressing our in-service needs of our teachers?
Sir, ang trabaho po namin ay ipakita ang datos kung nasaan yung inaral namin na professional development ng ating mga kagaruan, and we are reporting to NAYAP in that regard and holding dialogues on how they would reinvent and redirect their professional development, sir. So nasa ganun kami, sir, because hindi namin mandato ang develop ng training program and when we deliver. But with the Teacher Education Excellence Center, sir, that should trigger innovations in the development of professional development within an area that we may give to NAYAP for NAYAP to implement. So sa halip na ang tulong po namin is to be able to develop the things that NAYAP may need so that we can support them. Delivery na lang sila, sir, kasi nagawa na namin yung research, nagawa na namin yung development. We can fund that internally and then give it to NAYAP for implementation, sir. Pero on specific targeted population, sir, not on a general population. So an example of our special population would be high potential school leader. Na si NAYAP kasi nandun na sa school leader ka na, or malapit ka nang maging school leader, or you're given professional development. TEC's job will be to find where the best practicing teachers are across career stages, even if they have not yet submitted application to become a school head in the school head track, in the administrative track, I mean, of the career progression. Hinahanap na namin ang best practice nila o ang practice nila so that we can develop interventions along the line and then give it to NAYAP for implementation, sir. Para hindi napapabayaan yung high potential natin na maging school head, meron tayong system, no, na di-develop for them without even waiting for them to apply.
Ang role talaga ng TEC to research, come up with recommendations.
Yes, sir.
And of course, the other agencies will implement the recommendations. Yung staffing pattern, yung mga divisions under the law, is it fully fully staffed na ba ng TEC?
Not yet fully staffed, sir. Our last tranche will be in 2026, sir. We were given the second tranche this year, and we're now hiring. We're now on the
tranche in
terms of the staffing. In
the
terms
budget.
of no, sir, the positions.
Okay.
The OSSP, the organizational structure, staffing structure.
Okay.
Tama. Yun, sir. So tapos na po kami, nabigyan na po kami ng second batch at nasa hiring process na po kami. Pero inuna lang namin for 2025 our finance and admin side, para may sasalo ng pagiging attached agency namin by January 2026. And then by 2026, DBM promised the last tranche. That's to complete the full staffing pattern.
So hindi pa pala, akala ko full na.
May mga opisina na, sir, may mga directors na, pero hindi pa po kompleto yung aming staff sa offices.
Teka, merong, let me just look under the law yung divisions.
Quality Teaching Officer,
Yeah.
Quality Pre-Service Office.
Ano na lang ang kulang doon?
Lahat sila naka-establish na, sir. Lahat sila naka-set up na.
Okay.
May mga directors na po sila currently. Yung complete set of the staff under each of the office, yun po ang inaantay pa namin.
So
ang binubuo namin.
2026, ba't hindi
Kompleto na.
mapuno ka agad?
Sir, kasi Sir, kasi ang rule ni DBM, tranches, punuin mo muna yon and then we give you the next round. Pero in essence, approved naman yung buong
Yes.
plan, yung buong staffing pattern, sir.
Yeah, but mas maganda kung full blast na yung TEC because teachers
sana,
to
sir.
eh.
Opo, sir.
Oo, pwede ba? Di ba pwedeng ganon, DBM? Kasi mga teachers to, the sooner they can complete their manpower complementary, the faster they will work. Kasi yung problema natin sa education, kahapon eh. Diba? Yun ang problema natin, kaya hindi tayo pwedeng maghanap ng solusyon next year pa. No? Dapat kahapon din tayo naghanap ng solusyon. No? Can you check with if we can advance their... I want TEC to fully operationalize. That's the goal. That's the bottom line. Because acknowledging that the problem napakatagal na yung mga problema. In fact, yung pagbuo ng TEC, yung
Yes, sir.
IRR, na-delay rin almost 2 years, no?
Yes, sir.
So 2 years na yung IRR,
Sasagot daw
2
po si
years na
Andy.
yung in setup, almost 2 years rin. Diba? Sayang yung batas.
Yes, Mr. Chair, yeah, we will coordinate po with our OPCCB po regarding po the...
Sabihin na namin bukas, ma'am.
Yes, please.
No, pa-check na lang with
Sure po.
DBM because my suggestion is to fully operationalize TEC. But when assuming we put the 300 million, you have the capacity to spend the 300 million with your manpower complementary?
Yes, sir, because we have a complete manpower for the finance and admin, sir, within the year.
Okay, all right. And then, merong, nakita ko lang to sa MOE nyo, yung traveling expense, 62 million.
Sir, nalinis na po namin yan. Sir, it's birth pains. We were given, our team set up all of these things as requests. And we were looking, kasi sir, yung implementation ng curriculum, maraming travel po yun. So we were referring to the travels of our teams and all of our enumerators in terms of implementing the curriculum, the centers of excellence monitoring and evaluation, and the monitoring and evaluation of the affirmation of career stages for about 300,000 of DepEd teachers who will request for affirmation of their career stages. We were referring to that. We weren't very clear on how the travel will be done. So nalinis na po namin, but that is true. We have a big request in terms of travel because that's the bulk of the work in 2026, sir, to go down to the field. We're done with gathering facts, gathering information in FGDs, in lots of workshops in Manila and other big cities. But for 2026, sir, it's really monitoring of our TEIs with the curriculum and with our DepEd teachers for the career progression, sir.
Okay, so I would assume that eventually this will plateau.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Plateau or level off later on. Yung bagong career progression, Dr. Jeannie, how will TEC interact with the new career progression?
Sir, our discussions with our counterparts in the Department of Education, particularly the Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development, and also of NAEAP, is that we will allow DepEd to have a go first in the current career progression based on the executive order, where they just released DepEd Order 24 series of 2025 to implement the career progression, sir. They will proceed with the current plans that they have without interference from the Teacher Education Council yet. The reason for this, Your Honor, is because we want the teachers to grow with the policy first. We don't want the teachers to be taking care of too many new things. So, mag-go muna sila, and then our counterpart is to pilot the affirmation of the career stages within the year. Pero susundan na lang namin, sir, yung ginagawa nila, and then support them and then point out where some details are not as accurate as what we have discussed based on the professional standards, sir. As we speak, sir, marami na kasing nag-uumpisa pa lang yung expanded career progression. Medyo marami-rami ng concerns ang teachers. So we want to be of support first rather than add another layer where TEC comes in as provided for by our law. So by 2026, sir, we should be in a stronger position to support DepEd run a comparative or a similar system to support their career progression, sir.
Because that's approved na by law.
Yes, sir. Apo, signed.
Signed na. So, but DepEd already issued a
Yes, sir.
parang guidelines on that, no? So, gusto ko lang, well, to operate it properly, that should also be part of TEC's purview.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Kasi that's part of their growth and part of their career development. No?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, so I don't have any more questions. There being no other questions, the budget of the Teacher Education Council is now being submitted for plenary consideration, subject to the discussion and submission of documents registered. So maraming salamat po. All right. Okay, thank you to everyone. So this budget briefing is hereby suspended.